What is up, traders? It's Steve Tileman here with Trade the Pool. We've got Power Hour into earnings, the 1-2 combo punch here. So strap in, guys, because we have had a rocky Power Hour and it's not done yet. We're breaking new lows, breaking about a 15-minute flag here on SPX as we speak. Going to be keeping an eye on this as we try to crack on down and fulfill our magnet target here at 72.76. So a few more points down, and we should be finding at least a little bit of intraday support. This is where I want to see if buyers can step in and try to form a higher low off of yesterday's close here, because if not, things could get rough to the downside. Zooming on out, zooming down, you can see our gamma exposure profile here on the side. You can see the magnet at the peak here, and you can see that we could not maintain any volume over the 0 gamma. We tried in the morning and failed pretty darn hard. Once we failed, there was no traction, and we've just continued to slide. I think that since we're coming down to the peak here, we probably pinned for a while, but we might see this bottom node growing, this 7227, 7225, let's call it, nice and easy. Essentially, if this grows, then you can expect this double bottom that we may be looking for to not play out. Kind of thinking it doesn't, because it looks like we're going to sweep this low to me. So that's what we're looking for here on SPX. I'm going to show you a few more fun things just to kind of give us a little bit of a guidance on where the index might go. Because I've been building, guys. I've been building some tools that will be out for us soon. So we'll watch this 1-minute consolidation attempt to break down and see how it interacts with this magnet here and see how these levels work while I just pull up a few supplementary things for us here. So this is a little dashboard I'm building. It's still in the works, but there's a few things I want to show you. First off, just showing the gamma exposure profile of the day. We have, this is for the week. So we have essentially 0 gamma sitting at about 73.76, give or take, 73.76, so much higher above us. Until we get over there, we are in basically an environment where moves can accelerate to the downside. You can see these levels popping around here live. That's because they are, well, live, and we're seeing puts and calls, mostly puts being bought here. So we want to see if into this big level where there's a lot of puts, this purple zone, well, we want to see if people take those puts off and monetize them, and we want to see what they do there. Do they buy calls? Do they think we reverse? Or do they roll those puts down deeper to the next strike down? Do we see those lower nodes start to build up? And that'd be pretty scary. We're seeing a whole lot of that potential build up here on Friday too. This is a little heat map for every day of the week. And you can see this big node lighting up down. Oh, that's at 7,300. I apologize. So we are already over that. I'm sorry, we're already under that. So we're accelerating to the downside. We already fulfilled this node. We got to look even deeper, guys. Where's the next big downside node? I'm seeing 72.50. That's 30 points to the downside. And what I really want to watch is into tomorrow, into this big Oracle print that we're going to be talking about in just a few minutes. I want to see which side builds out. Do we see these nodes to the downside at 7,200? 7150, 7175? Do we see these build out and become a magnet to the downside? Or do we get good Oracle earnings that stabilize the market? And do we see these upside nodes at 7430, very ambitious, up here at 7500? Do we see these play out? I think it's more likely that we sweep to the downside and push lower, but hey, I'm open to either. So we're going to be watching and waiting and seeing how that plays out. So I'm going to go ahead and close this down for now. Get into some charts for us. And you know, I gotta check my comments. How we doing in the comments, guys? Stay stoic, be stoic. Good to see you in here, man. I personally don't like Oracle, but it pushes markets. Absolutely. So Oracle is going to be a great kind of barometer for the data center, hyperscaler, AI trade as a whole. You know, basically the same thing that all these mega caps are operating under. Hey, it's gonna be moved by Oracle and their forward guidance in particular. So we're going to actually segue into this right now because we got a lot to talk about for Oracle. We got a few other earnings as well, but come on, we know who the star of the show is here. So let's start talking. Ayush, whenever you're ready, we can also run the promo because I want you guys to know. I know you probably heard it by now, but the Trading World Championship, it's here. Trading World Cup, we are doing the thing. It started, the actual World Cup is starting tomorrow, I believe, and we got to make sure you're registered and ready to go, ready for battle here, because it is all starting now. So Ayush, whenever you're ready, we can roll that clip, and then we'll get into the earnings call, or the earnings presentation. All right, guys, are you hype or what? I know I am. So, guys, don't miss out. Make sure you register. We've got a lot of great stuff right around the corner. But we got to talk Oracle. We got to talk about the biggest earnings play left around the corner. We've gotten through NVIDIA, we've gotten through Microsoft, Amazon, Apple, all of these big boys, but not Oracle. And this one matters. This is in the top 10 market caps. This is going to move the markets. And guess who just made a yearly salary in gold shorts? Barney did. So, okay, we're going to talk earnings, but we got to give Barney his flowers first. Congratulations, brother. Always good to see our friends of the stream printing. Barney. I love it. I still don't know how to say your name. Coolwinder, am I bullish on Oracle? Well, let's talk about it in just a sec. First, we're talking gold. What an epic short. We're going to talk about it. We got gold futures as his trade. This is the daily chart, and look at this absolute puke. So what did I say? Barney, I think I said I liked it, and I think we get the extension, and I probably was saying, hey, look and see what we do at this wick down, and we're getting so close. We're getting so close. 4,100. I mean, honestly, I'd be booking profit before this because I'm a coward. If you're still in, absolutely amazing. If you're not, congratulations on making your money. What an awesome trade. I know you entered on a 15-minute chart. We're going to check that out real quick. And if you got an exit for us, definitely let us know so we can frame this in any color you might want to give. But just look at that beautiful, beautiful breakdown and follow through here. Barney got in off of this, basically the open, I believe, right around the open. And man, has he been getting paid. Nice hold. And we were saying, hey, we think that this thing just continues to go down overnight. We thought it was a 15-minute bear flag here as well. And wow, excellent follow through. Even the pop in the morning, this thing just faded off so hard, and it looks like it's going to sweep that bottom wick on the daily now and really try to test a breakdown of the range. I think we're probably going to hit 4,000 here. So excellent, excellent stock. Trying to navigate to the daily here, having a little lag. Sorry about that. There we go. And what an epic washout here on precious metals. This is just gnarly. And we'll have to talk about this on a future stream. I want to do like a webinar on this or something, because I think there's a lot of interesting components going on to this price action. And I need to dive under the hood just a little bit deeper, because something's afoot. Something is afoot here. So 4,100, 4,112 to be precise. That's the kind of area that I want to see retest here for the sweep. It should come very quickly. And yeah, excellent trade there. Good job. Let's get into Oracle. Let's get into it. So first off, the technicals. Almost there. Almost there. There we go. The computer's fighting with me today. All right, so we have a few things I want to note just on the daily chart here. First off, we've got this range from this high to the low, and we're right in the middle. We're right in the equilibrium. You can see that red line. That just represents the 50% there. You can also see the yellow. That's that previous swing high that we broke out from and surged before coming back down and kind of oscillating around this point. So I say all this to say, this is about as neutral of a look in terms of like where you are in the range as you could get going into a big print. So it's not the easiest read. There's a few things that I do think might give us a hint. And the first off is, maybe that orange arrow is a little bit of a spoiler, but this does look like a big volume shelf that we could push off of. This 145, 150 on the bottom side there, up to 190, 200-ish on the top side here, especially 195-ish. Well, this could be a really powerful zone we could push off of if we're retesting this, along with retesting this yellow zone, along with retesting this 50% fib, after surging above and into earnings. This gives a very interesting look, and I think it's going to be an explosive mover after hours. I'm excited to actually trade the darn thing, but yeah, we got to talk about this from a fundamental perspective, and we'll do it. We'll frame it technically, but at the end of the day, this is going to be really a play that's driven by this print, right? We'll talk about what we want to see there. Let me get into my other charts. That loads. We can also, sorry, I'm actually I'm crashing my computer here. We're gonna do it a little different. We're gonna do it on the TradingView charts just for now until I get my RAM situation underway, because I got a little presentation for y'all too. TradingView will have to do, although I wanted to get on the Trader Evolution so we could talk about the trades and how we'll frame them, get those levels up on this platform we'll be trading them in, but we can do that after. Okay, we got the slideshow here. It's doing me dirty, so I'm going to put it on this for now so we can just talk about the first few things I want to as I wait for my full presentation to load. Apologies for the wait here, guys. How are those high flyers? The C pop as well. I want to check that out. I know we have a few others that have really been moving and shaking in the small cap space. So if you're a small cap trader, don't worry. We'll be tuning into those in just a second. Just don't mind me yapping while I'm digging around for my full presentation here for y'all. There we go. All right. We're right back in there, boys. So 5 prints we're going to talk about today, but let's be real. We're really just talking about Oracle because that is the name of the game here. So we do have Stitch Fix, we do have Anterix, we have Navan and Athlon Medical. I couldn't tell you exactly what they do. We'll learn a little bit about what they do, but we all know why we're here tonight, guys. It's the star of the show. It's the big boy himself. It is Oracle. It is Larry Ellison and this powerhouse of a mover. It's been surging. It's been very wild. It's been a volatile stock over the past year. It has not been as easy to trade as most of the mega caps, but that could lead for more room to catch up if they can stick the landing of this print. I'm really, really curious about this earnings in particular because it comes right at the end of a big season of earnings prints, and we've kind of gotten through all of them. They seemed good, and then we just started cracking sentiment-wise on this AI narrative, especially the CapEx narrative with Broadcom here. So Broadcom, my newsletter this week, it was called 144% wasn't enough, because that was how much they beat year over year, but it wasn't enough, guys. And we want to see if Oracle can kind of get us back on track in terms of narrative here. Let's see, guys. I see some comments, some questions. We're going to get into those in just a little bit. I got to ask you to hold them, not till the end. We'll take some breaks, but let me get into this thing first. So Oracle sitting right around 205 and change, down a hair on the day, probably a little more since I wrote this. Let's touch base with Oracle and see what they're sitting at. Looks like 202.65, 202.65. That's pretty good. We'll work with that. Okay, so 202.65. The options market is pricing a plus or minus 12.8% move on the weekly expiry here, and that's roughly $26 in either direction. So that puts the implied range about 179 on the downside and 232-ish, call it 230 on the upside. So those are not small numbers. Like I said, this is quite a volatile mover, despite being essentially a mega cap. This thing is not much smaller than your TSMs, your Broadcoms. It's really in that, I think, like 10 to 15 top market cap movers. So this thing will move the market. And of course, as it is kind of like a proxy for the hyperscaler bet, obviously very important considering why the market is cracking with those Broadcom numbers. So that's the range there. We got 179-ish, roughly 180 to the downside, 230 to the upside. And let's get into it here. So those are the 5 names for tonight. Oracle, obviously the one that matters. The others, they might get some big moves. I did want to mention them just because, I mean, heck, look at these implied moves here. We have 35% on Stitch Fix. That's absolutely massive. It's a $3.65 stock, 67-cent stock, but it's going to move probably $1 plus tonight alone. So this, if you're a fast-fingered, quick trader, we can talk about how to maybe play and get some of this high ATR move and bank off that very large ATR. So once we establish the trend, just try to capture a good chunk of that, not overstay our welcome because, hey, 34%, there's a lot of meat on that bone. We don't need to catch all of that. Same thing even when we're talking about some of these others with ATEX, that's a 14% implied move, $9 there. And how about Navan, NAVN. I don't know what they do. They're AI travel and an expense platform. It's a very strange one that I actually haven't encountered before today. So I don't know what they do, but they can move 20% overnight. So you can definitely catch a quick move on there. Let's see. It looks like there's no earnings chain actually for AEMD. So I don't know why that one snuck in there. That one should have been filtered out. So we're going to focus on these guys. And of course, Oracle, the big one. Moving on. There are those implied moves, just showing how massive that 34% is. We've been doing a lot of earnings here, Trade the Pool. And over the season, I don't think we've seen one this big. We had a couple that came in at 15 to 20. And that was like the whole day, just 15 to 20 percenters. And I thought that was going to be the peak for the season. But here we are. We got our 15, we got our 20, but we got a 35% mover too. So I do want to keep an eye on Stitch Fix just for the velocity that thing can bring. Mike D. Ryder's in the chat. His eyes are crossed. He's ready to rumble. It's going to be a good time. Coolwinder asking, are we going to buy before earnings? Well, I'm going to be trading it live. We'll talk about whether it's long or short. We're going to talk about it. But the fact that it's pulling down a little bit and into that 200 gives me reason to think that maybe we do look for a long. Like I said, that 195 to 200 zone, that's where I really want to see a dip into for me to get an easy money buy, get a nice little trade to the upside off a little dip. And remember, never actually easy money when you're trading earnings. So grain of salt here. But yeah, we're gonna see what we can do, hit some trades on this thing, and maybe the Stitch Fix. I'm fixing to trade some Stitch Fix if possible, because that one looks really fun. So before we get into anything else, just into some more comments here. Isra Med, good to see you in here. He's saying, I'm trying to make a quick buck. Do you think investing in Oracle prior to their earnings could do that for me? Curious to know your opinions. I know stock earnings can be volatile. Well, I'm glad you know it, because I got to tell you anyway, it's going to be volatile. I do not know. Like I said, we're pinned in the middle of the range. I'll go back to the chart really quickly here. Fight my way over to it. There we go. We're pinned right in the middle of this previous range, and it's just not giving me too many hints. The oscillator, the daily oscillator there, pointing down. If we go to a weekly chart, you can take a few more things into account. Sorry, I'm battling some lag here when I switch to this chart. So we're going to pop on some moving averages here to get our bearings. And this will give you some levels to play off of too. Because as a technical trader, there's a chart in the middle of the range. I might have a bias, but when we're going into earnings, really we just have to react to what the market is telling us, because we're at a pivotal binary kind of level. It can go one way or it can go the other. See that red line that's bifurcating the zone we're trading in? That's the equilibrium. We're right there. See that big volume shelf? Well, to me, that's telling me one of two things. If earnings are good, it's a launch pad. If earnings not so good, well, then we probably want to gravitate back towards this weekly moving average. We probably want to gravitate back towards this peak volume here at 140 to 167. Those are the kind of areas I'm looking for there. As we zoom in a little bit more, as long as this thing is holding over roughly 190, I think that it still is a buy. for an investment, not necessarily for a very quick scalp. As we all know, it can take some time for earnings plays to move out. But just look at this. It's a little dubious. It's a little ominous, isn't it? This top wick, it failed its moving average ribbon. It's now closing under the 200. So if you're longing here, it's because you believe in the company and really you believe in the AI narrative at this juncture, that this is just a pullback and you think that we're going higher. You think Micron 1000, that's nothing. We're going higher. If that's you, then it's probably going to take place on the back of this here. It's probably going to make this turn, make this inflection. If not, we could be in for some more red this week. So keep that in mind. I won't tell you what to do because this isn't financial advice, but I will tell you that if we do see this 200 week movement, or sorry, 200-day moving average, this big purple line here for me at 205, if we see this test and then fail, that's going to be a sign for me to maybe look short. If we see a little bit more of a pop to get to the 9-day moving average, and that's that blue line, that's at 213. And if we see a lot of weakness, a big seller step in there, that could be a sign for me to short as well. The last thing I'll say, hey, this is the big pin here, and we're not too far away. So if we do get good results, that we'll talk about what we're looking for in particular, but if we do get the numbers that we're looking for, and we do see a small dip into this 196, kind of 195, 196 peak of this volume mountain, and we see that hold, well, that might be a dip that we can buy. And at the very least, scalp up to 200, scalp up to the 200-day moving average at 205. See, there's some nice levels stacked there and some nice kind of ways that we can play off of those. That's what we're going to be trying to catch. Let me take a sip of water, and then we'll get back into the fundamentals and talk about what we're looking for. Nice, look at that. Very cool. Yeah, we're going to be talking about SpaceX too, guys, because it's IPOing on Friday, and that's going to be wild as well. So be sure to tune in. We're going to be doing a special stream and talking space all day on Friday. Barney asking if I can switch my trading view to a dark background. Yeah, let's try it out and see if that works better, guys. Let's try that out and see if that works better for people. I'll probably have to change my candles to red. Ooh, I don't like red, but I'll do it for you. For you guys, anything. We'll do red, but a nice mild red. Nothing too crazy. We're not going to get too crazy. Change the wick as well. Still fighting lag here. Apologies for this taking a while. I usually can use a mouse, I swear. Okay, so we've got our candles set up correctly here. Let's also get the canvas much darker here. What about a nice, soothing navy blue? That's a little intense though, huh? What about a nice, innocuous gray? Maybe a little darker. We're going to figure out, we're going to find something that doesn't make our eyes bleed like that. That's not happening. That's not happening. I think we got to go gray, guys. Is this bearable? Things look so disgusting. I know, dude, I know. All right, we're gonna work this out. We're gonna sort this out. I need you guys to be able to see. What about like a something like this? Oh God, no. Oh God, no. It's like seafoam puke. Dark gray, do you hate me? All right, we're doing this. If you hate me, let me know. If you got a suggestion, let me know. But at least we can kind of see what we're doing here. At least we can kind of see what we're doing here. I'll also clean up some of these other lines for us. Actually, that's the one that I wanted to keep. So guys, Oracle, like we said, technicals wise, it's really right in the middle here. It's really hard to say. Let me know if you can at least see what I'm talking about now. And the last thing I'm going to do, I'm going to change my crosshairs too. So we're going to go neon pink for the crosshairs. That way you guys will know where I'm pointing at. Oh, just night mode? It was that easy, brother? What? Let's try it out. Figure this out. Okay. Oh, there it is. Oh, guys, we're so in. Look at that. I can see it pop. That's beautiful. All right. All right, guys. Thanks for sticking with me. We got our co-pilot coming in. I hear my cat at the door, and then we're going to get into this. Look at this beautiful dark color here. I can see that from across the room. Look at this. Come on. Get in here. Go on. All right. Cat is my co-pilot. We're ready to rock. I don't know if you guys can see. There she is. Okay, we're ready to go. Sorry, guys. So we have the 200 day moving average at 205. We have the round number 200. We have this big volume shelf here at 195, just $5, $5, $5. We'll be able to try to get some scalps between these levels. What'll I think will happen, Purdue? That's a great question. I'm gonna hedge my bets here and say, hey, we're right in the middle. I think that it might come down a little bit, and then the guidance is what's going to either make or break this thing. So I want to see what it does at 195 before I make a big claim, because basically we're right near this big magnet. If this holds, I think it's a launch pad. I think we could really get explosive here. But hey, you know what? It could be rough. It could be rough. And I'm just gonna walk you through the scenarios, and then you guys can make the informed decision yourself. I'll tell you what, the way I'm trading it. But let's get into the print. Let's talk about the details. That's what we need to know to make this decision. Working through some lag. We're almost there, guys. It's the tiniest little icon. There we go. We got it. So, like I said, almost a 13% implied move here, $26 in either direction off this 205 rough level that we're at right now. Let's talk about the story. Let's talk about this story. So, the specific numbers that I'm going to be looking for are going to be, first off, cloud revenue. So it's the lead metric tonight for sure, not EPS. This is what matters more, and that's because well, a few reasons. First off, the target is 9.9 billion, split between cloud applications at 4.16 billion, and OCI at 5.17 billion. So that OCI number represents 90.8% growth over year over year. For context, Q3 OCI came in at 4.9 billion at 84% growth. So we need 5.17, yeah, 5.17 on OCI just to hit consensus. And that's actually an acceleration there. So that's the first thing there, the cloud revenue. That's going to be our lead metric. The backlog story is compelling though as well. And so this is one where, I don't know, we just got to really see what they say. So here's the backlog story. 553 billion, but that's a big number. It's compelling, right? But I want to hear that management commentary on the pace of conversion in particular. So a backlog that large, it really only matters if the deals are converting into recognized revenue on schedule. So any language around elongated sales cycles, on infrastructure build out delays, or on capacity constraints, that could be a real yellow flag, regardless of what the headline number says. So if we see any of those, we could see a bigger crack in the market as a whole, because I think that that's going to take the air out of a good number of AI infrastructure plays, these hyperscaler kind of plays. So the other thing that I'm tracking here, multi-cloud database revenue. So it grew 531% last quarter, and AI infrastructure revenue was up 243%. Wow. So these are the SQL metrics to the hyperscaler partnership announcements. If the multi-cloud number decelerates sharply tonight, yes, if it decelerates sharply tonight, it signals that partnership execution is slower than the narrative suggests. So those are the things that we're looking out for most. And let's get on into it. Sorry, everything's freezing up on me here. It looks like it's coming through okay on your side, so we're just going to power through. We're going to do it live. Going on here, let's talk about the guidance, because this is the real binary event. I just got to be real direct, because it's not about that EPS print. It's really about, let's see, if Oracle reports 198 versus 196, let's say, and the 196 estimate, and they report 198, that's not really good. It's going to be moving the stock. That's not going to be good for 15% after hours in either direction. If it's a small beat or a small miss, and really they would have to be way outsized numbers for that to be the print. What really is going to matter is that guidance. So Oracle's already put out one longer range target of $90 billion in fiscal 2029 revenue. But fiscal year 2027, the year that starts tonight, this is the first year where AI backlog needs to start showing up in a meaningful way, I think. So we have some analyst estimates here. Mizuno's analyst, Siti Panigrahi, is expecting guidance of roughly 34% revenue growth. And let's be clear about what that means. So fiscal 2026, now closing, is on pace for about 20% growth. 34% for 2027, that's like almost double the pace. So that would be pretty wild if that analyst is correct. And Mizuno, they don't have their slouches. If that is correct, well, that could be pretty wild. If management guides towards that 34% scenario, that specifically they put a credible dollar figure near that 90 billion path. Well, I could really see the stock challenging the upper end of that implied range, so that 230 kind of level. If guidance comes in at 22, 23%, in line with the current pace, well, then the stock likely trades flat, or, it could be like one of those violently flat moves that market makers really love, where, everybody thinks it's going to the moon. It ends up looking like it's going to crash. Next day, it kind of rallies to roughly where it closed. And, it just crushes all those options on both sides. That's a possibility if we get a kind of just inline kind of guide there. So the bear flag, here's what we want to watch for, though. Oracle's combined debt and lease obligations are now at $162 billion, and that's up 68% in just the last quarter, guys. If the conversation on the call turns to the path to positive free cash flow, you got to listen really closely to how management frames this investment cycle. So that answer either reassures the market, or it starts off just a slow burn sell-off in the weeks that follow, and that could be really rough in a market with overall tape like ours, where there's that negative gamma accumulating below. And that's really worrisome to see with the potential of this narrative playing out. So I really want to see the numbers that we get. And it's going to be hard to just make a snap call, bullish, bearish. This is one of the tougher ones, I think, in that regard, but also one of the most important ones. Sorry, Mizuho, not what did I say, Mizuno? Is that the sportswear brand? You know what I meant. Okay, you know what I meant. Thank you for keeping me honest, talk. That's funny. You got what I was putting down. Let's see. We have some more to talk about here. And it's so funny now that you're saying that. The only thing that my brain thinks of with either of those words is Mizuno. It's a mustard green, because my family's in the produce business, so I know a family farm that grows spicy lettuce, and that's all I can think of. So my brain's all frazzled there. Let's talk bull and bear cases here, though, guys. What are we actually looking for in terms of specifics here? So for the bull case, remember, first off, the options market's pricing in roughly 180 to the downside, 230 to the upside. Using that the weekly expiry tonight near the close of 205, it's looking like we're going to be closing roughly around there. Double check, make sure we haven't made a big move. 201, so we are sliding a bit into the bell here, posting an ugly hammer on the daily candle. Not the best look. Let's actually look at a 5-minute chart there just to see the carnage. And by the way, guys, 3 minutes until the mock candle, 13 minutes until the bell. Yeah, just a kind of a meltdown here. It's just winding down and unable to find traction at its peak volume, at the highest volume peak here in this kind of 203 to 205 area. So that's not the best look. It's not a vote of confidence on this 5-minute candle, 5-minute chart. And maybe if we look at a 1 hour, things will look a little bit better. But not really, huh? That's looking rough. So what we really would like to see, just in terms of the move into the close and right on the print, we'd probably like to see these lows at 197 hold. And if it does flush, we want to see it transact this big volume shelf here at 192-ish. Could come down to 190, but we want to see a sharp response immediately off of that. A big bottom wick fit. Otherwise, we're in trouble. Is it just Josh Smith in the house? What's up, dude?
How we doing, guys? How we doing? What a great day to be alive. The small cap sector has just been absolutely a fire sauce. It's fire, baby. Tack, how we doing? Through my eyes, 4734. Picking them pros and them ponies. It's Nigel, it is. XO headsets. Barney in chat this afternoon. Hopefully everyone's having a good day. Mr. D Rider, Scott was in chat. And Mr. Tomlinson. How you guys doing? So, big day today. We have, if you missed out on the Trade the Pool stream today, small caps, absolutely. I know we got Oracle to go over here, but boy, oh, Steve. Small caps on fire, though, bro. I mean, hey, how about since we last left, I think CPOP halted 47 more times.
Oh, my goodness. I don't know
It
how
won't
you guys...
go down. I thought for sure it was going to be done. I thought 100% for sure I could count it out. Nope. Still holding up somehow. Halting. So we're about dead even from the last time we left, Steve. I don't think I'm kind of even. I'm not wrong. I'm not right. But we've had a lot of...
torture ball, Josh. I don't know what to do. So we talk about violently flat in the indices sometimes, or in these earnings plays, when there's wild moves that end up kind of resolving and closing right around where they opened. Well, this is a whole different type of violently flat. You guys have been up 30%, down 30%. You're stuck at this pivot, but it keeps halting every 3 minutes. What do you do if you're stuck in this? Do you just hang it up for the day and just try to get out the next time you can, or what's the play here?
What, one of these right here?
Yeah. Whoa.
Yeah, and then yeah, exactly. Yeah, like there we go. Like the new soundboard coming in, new sounds. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's it. You get a very wrong. You get a wrong buzzer because you don't know what you're doing. But yeah, it's one of those where you can just walk away and say, you know what? If you have a trade the pool account, it is what it is. Let's just walk. Let's relax, because watching the halt and the halt down and the halt up and the halt down, it becomes nerve wracking. What do? You don't trade it. If you are stuck in these halts, as it just continues to move. What I would tell traders to do, put limit orders in. Put a stop in up top, put some limit orders to possibly get filled down low, and just walk away, because that can become a big stress fest, 100%.
Yeah, so I like that advice, because otherwise you're burning the mental capital. Maybe it's not burning your actual capital. Maybe it's trading in that sideways action, but it still is frying you, and it's allowing you to, or it's making you kind of get too involved, too married to, too tunnel visioned on one trade, which is going to cook you. Even if you end up making money, it's still cooking you.
Cookie, baby.
Really move.
I mean, you're all over it, Steve. That's all. I mean, it's just got to talk about. That's how this whole trading stocks and investing, it's so mental, especially early on, and to be able to develop that patience and the discipline and the confidence that we talked about last week on the call-in show. Let's talk about something that I really want to talk about today, because again, Jesse knows about this in Missouri, as the Southerns would say, or Missouri, as I would call it, or in Arkansas, having its biggest day ever on the stock market, and that's Casey's General Stores right now. Oh my, bro, what?
Well, we were looking for a big move. You can see our green arrow there on the daily chart. We were looking for a big move, Josh. I was saying all-time highs soon. I didn't know this soon. That's not what I meant. I was thinking in a couple weeks, maybe we digest the move around 800 before making the surge to 9. But hey, let's just take the elevator. Why not? This was a great business with a great print. Yeah, straight up, dude. And it's crazy, right? And so what can you say other than this company? It ain't got no quit in it. It's just a steady compounder. They make money on the volatility of the oil spread. Great place to be this year. They make money off of Americans eating fast food, buying gas, driving big trucks.
They got some good pizzas. They have some pretty good pizza, and it's fresh, supposedly, I guess. It's fresh made. I've had it before. But that's the up game in the stock market. Imagine if Buc-ee's and Bucky's gets
dude.
more gas
Yeah.
stations out, and they put. I mean, like imagine their IPO and what that would be. I am surprised Casey's is at $900 or what, let alone that it was even in the 600s or 700s prior to me looking at it ever before. And I was like, what? This has an actual stock? I know Casey's. Casey's is good. Casey's is good. Great gas station. Let me tell you something. Good gas, cheap gas, and good eating there. So hey, if you want a clean gas station to stop while you're on the road, I give Casey's 2 thumbs up.
I love it. And you know what I give 2 thumbs up, Josh? 20-week moving averages, because you could just keep buying Casey's off the 20-week moving average. Just cover your gas bill for all eternity, basically. You could be getting Casey's to pay you for gas, because look at this. It's just an ATM. You just say, oh, I set an alert for the 21-week moving average. Oh, we hit it. I'm going to see if we close over it at the end of the week. Oh, we did? Well, look at that. It's time for me to buy some Casey's. And it can be that simple on some of these leading stocks, because how many times does this make a powerful, powerful move up and it runs a little hot and kind of drifts back? You can see all of these powerful sticks and then just giving a little bit back into its yellow 21 moving average, into yellow 21 moving average, and just over and over and over again. So really good stuff. Really good stuff here for just the systems trading. It's just on rails, Josh. It's so easy. I love it.
Oh, on the rails, he says. Yeah, Bucky's is huge. Ed is Steve. Yankee cap needed. He says Yankee cap needed. No, he's got the taps on tonight, baby.
The Tafts, I gotta throw it up for my boy Adam. Gotta represent. I just saw there's a stand-up comedian I like, Adam Friedland. I saw him a couple weekends ago, so had to throw the merch on. Also, I just need more hats for my big old head. I feel like my head is growing, and that's not an ego thing. I just think my head is physically growing, Josh. I don't know if I have a brain tumor or what, but I needed another hat. What could I say? So no Yankees. We're mixing it up.
Hey, well, no, listen. Your body's still growing over there. Is what we're gonna call it. Okay?
Okay.
You're still growing.
I'm a growing boy. I do need my brain.
There we go. There we go. There's Mr. What was the muscle? What was the guy's name? Megamind. Was that the Will Ferrell movie Megamind?
Come on. Oh, come on. Now you're just being hurtful, Joshua. Don't do that to me. Come on now. Come on now. You don't see me whipping out I don't know, what would I even call you? Like, the first thing that came to my mind was the Crimson Chin, which is definitely just not an insult. So
the Crimson Chin, I like it. So, how are we trading Oracle earnings? I'm always about dips. I'm never going to get in right beforehand unless it's a trend that I want to trade. I like dips. We talked about this last week, and any of the trades that I like in the when it comes to the swing space, earning space, I want plays to come back down to gravity if I'm going to get into them, especially a play like this that does look, at least on the chart, what I'm looking at, even today as we are pulling back on down here into the closing bell, which we have closing bell a little less than 5 minutes from right now. Levels given earlier that I would love to see this at are minimum 190-ish area, 188. If I see 180 area, that'd be a great dip. 160 would be a for sure dip. If I see 160 out of the gate, I'll take it. That would be one where I'd wait to get for a dip buy at the 160 mark. Usually I get in like 10 to 20 shares, sometimes 23 because of Michael Jordan, and we rock that back on up. So if it's a spike or sideways consolidation or just anything that it's not a complete dump out of the bell, I'll go 180. If we do dump right out of the bell, I sit back and go for the lowest order, and I like the 160 bounce play from back in late April into early May at that 160 handle.
Josh, that's so far. It's 20%. You're scaring the children, Josh. You're scaring me. You think?
Hey, what did we have though on not only CrowdStrike, but what was the other one that y'all were kind of? What was on last week? Was it Alta? Was it what's Broadcom? It was on Broadcom, wasn't it?
Broadcom died. Yeah, that was rough.
Yeah,
that was wild. We've seen some big moves. They're all running together at this point.
Yeah, well, yeah, I know. Yeah, they do start to run a little bit together. But I like the 180 if we do spike up a little bit at first and or move consolidate wise, and then if we don't, 160 if we just straight flush down. Now on the way up, I don't like trading breakouts unless I get what I want, and I only will trade a breakout if we get over 220. If we get over 220, I know we're gonna fly, and I'll stab in at that like I did on Snow. Snow was a barn burner, if you guys remember. That day I took 2 plays. One was a bounce play, and one was a breakout. And I that's the only way I trade earnings is it's breaking out and it's just going mega source style. we're going to go long, and if not, I'm waiting for a dip back on down for sure. So that's how I'm looking to trade. Oracle,
Okay.
Jonathan.
So wait, 220, is that, let me see if I can reverse engineer this. It's like a UFO tech that landed on my planet. Let me see if I can, what do I do with this? What do I do with this 220 level, Josh? Well, it seems like this is the top wick from the previous two opens. And this would be a reclaim of the 200-day, I believe. It would be a reclaim of the 200-hour as well. And it would kind of confirm a little wonky inverted head and shoulders down here off the 200 and change zone. Is this kind of what you're thinking? It's basically the previous regime there, previous level up, reclaim, failed breakdown. Okay, I like that. I like that. Because then you're getting squeeze juice off of the shorts that are stuck. We like that. We like giving bear swirlies,
And before we do get into the earnings, that's right. Tomorrow, though, FIFA World Cup starts. This time tomorrow, when after hour starts, you will be with myself possibly for a minute or two, but I know Jesse will be here with Steve tomorrow to break down earnings on Adobe, and also I'll chime in to be the sportscaster and bring up the World Cup as we have South Africa versus Mexico tomorrow. First match. You guys can win up to $1 million in evaluations from us by just predicting World Cup matches. You don't have to go over to DraftKings, FanDuel, all those other BS places and put in some money to get money. No, this is free. And then you get free money from us. Sign up. Trade the World Championship, bro. We're killing it. What a fun week this has been. And you got to imagine, before earnings drops here, imagine AK-47 this week. Myself, Mr. Josh Smith, if I actually got to enter the challenge on these gap plays. Bro, I might be up 400K right now, 500K. I mean, I have 0 losing trades this week, and I've only taken 7 swings. So, 3 today, 3, 2, 4, 8 swings. 8 swings this week so far. I mean, whoo, when we saw what we're swinging here, we're seeing the entries. And if I went in like 100,000, 200,000 shares or whatever per, ooh, I'm telling you right now, I'm just telling you guys right now, you better step your game up. Because if I was in this tournament.
Oh, there's the bell.
Game
All
over.
right. Pencils down there, guys. And I will be letting you know in just a second here when to expect these prints coming out, because they're going to be right around the corner. We have Stitch Fix if we care about them. It's 4:05. We didn't have a chance to get into those earnings, but they don't actually matter, Josh. It's all about the Oracle, and that is at 5 minutes away. So there we go. Give me the magic hands.
How crazy that with the fibs, because you just got to imagine that, how we looking at the chart. Jonathan asked, is that because of each one's roughly 10% each way? It just happens that way. That's why typically when I eye out charts, I'm eyeing out that, the fibs. I'm eyeing out where the key levels are, and they typically always line up together when they build technically sound charts. And to me, it's technically sound in those areas, and that's what I'm looking to trade. I don't trade when it's not technically sound. Everything's got to line up and make sense. If it doesn't line up and make sense, I'm not taking the shot. I mean, this truly is like, imagine old school home run derby days when they had the pitching coach there and they could sit up there and take 50 or 100 pitches. And that was fun, but eventually get boring because, they'd take 10 pitches. Or sometimes they're like, no, let's get to it. We don't want you guys taking pitches up here and taking your time trying to find one in the sweet spot. But that's what this is. You do get all day. You do have the stock market to be your pitching coach and say, hey, stock market, pitching coach, show me the chart, right? You show me the chart, I'll Jerry Maguire you and show you the money. Okay? But that's what I'm waiting for. So I'm waiting for that pitching coach to throw one right into my sweet spot at the right amount of velocity. And when it does,
boom, there you go. Yeah, that really is what it's about. The longer I do this, the more it feels like things are slowing down. Maybe this is what it just feels like to get old, Josh. But you know what? Things are slowing down because I don't feel so compelled to take everything. I'm waiting for things to come to me. I'm just in my own lane, vibing, and then the trades come to me. I get my alerts, and then I'm ready to go. And it's so much less stressful than always feeling like I'm a dog chasing a car, and then I don't even know what to do with it once I catch it. So
Right.
it feels much better to let the trade come to me, and then I'm ready to execute. And it just works. So that's what we're talking about, framing these trades like this. And yeah, sometimes it's time to strike when the iron's hot. Like right now for you, you're swinging, you're hitting. So keep on swinging, keep on hitting. Right now for me, I'm building a lot of stuff. So I'm not trading much at all. I'm sitting back with my pen and pencil, my notepad, and I'm just observing. I'm just observing, and that's fun too. You know, it's a different kind of game.
Real quickly, Ish asked in chat, Ishram, what's up, Ishramid? How we doing, brother? Oracle announces 5 after. So our bro over here, I'm trying to say brother, whatever. All of us are family, but Steve over here has found out that it is 5 after. So 4:05 Eastern time, market time, 5 minutes after the closing bell, which would be essentially a little over 2 minutes from right now. We should see Oracle move and get some numbers out. Steve, whenever he gets those numbers, we'll read them off and we'll go over those. Steve, or we want to stick around? I know I will eventually get out. Are you going to stick around though for the call today?
Yeah, I'll stick around for the call. We should have a good amount to talk about. Oracle's starting to cook a little already here, Josh. By the way, do you think you could get your charts going for when this goes live in a few minutes so I can be ready on the awesome? Because my computer is fighting for its life over here, Josh. Micron can't drop fast enough.
Love it. Hold on one second. Yeah, right. Here we go. There we go. That sounded like I was playing an old school Nintendo game right there, baby. That's what I'm talking about.
You're just scaring me because that's literally the sound that my computer makes as it fries out when I have too many quad windows open. And I'm like, all right, time to restart it all. All right. I flipped the switch, you know, blew the fuse. That's what I'm looking for. So we'll see if Oracle can flip the switch, blow the fuse on the market, hit the circuit breaker. Oh, that's a scary metaphor, huh? Saying circuit breaker when talking about stocks. Hopefully we don't get a circuit breaker here. I think that's a little egregious, but then again, Josh wants 160 here on Oracle, so that's going to be spooky if we do get it. I will say that's a good hold your nose and buy level, though, that 160 volume shelf.
Hold your nose and buy, he says. All right. Step right up. Hold your nose and buy, says Crowbar Steve. Why? Because we have Oracle coming out with earnings. I'll put it in the 4-hour time frame here. Let me share my screen now. 4 hours. Now watch mine. Mine starts to act out of nowhere. Like, no, don't do it. All right, boom. We got mine up now. So if we want to share mine, so Steve can have a little bit of time to find some stuff. And here's the area. The move on down. Oh, what's this here, Steve? You showing cats off?
Well, these are my cat pictures. Let me get back.
We got you. We got his cat pics.
Guilty as charged. All right. Let me get some numbers for y'all because they're coming in any second now, any minute now.
Okay, here. And again, here's the area I like. We are spiking up here. So already out of the gate, we are getting some spiking. This is the first key area I was talking about. It really starts about 187. Area 187.75 down to this 180 area. Then this to me would be the safer area. Old resistance, new support right there at 160. I doubt, but this would be an area down here at this 134.70 mark, 135 area. This is where I would slap some orders in and just leave them there. I don't think I'd ever worry about not getting a bounce play at this 135 area. Why? 1, 2, and we run back on up here to the 200 plus area. Coming back on down though, Steve, any numbers coming out yet?
Let's see, refreshing here. I was just reading about a bunch of whales sweeping calls into this print. Let me see if we have numbers. Not seeing anything yet. So I will keep refreshing until I find them here. Okay, I got them. It looks like we have a double beat, but relatively small. I have a 7.65% earnings per share beat. We were expecting 1.96. The actual we got is 2.11. The revenue is 0.58% beat, so essentially in line there. Let's see. So we'll start breaking down the numbers as we get more color from the little first release here. How's the stock looking? What's it doing?
Still rocking on its way back on down. Coming off that 180 area is exactly what I talked about. It's been, what was that, Jonathan? Who was it that asked? I think it was Jonathan asked about that. Jonathan, here you go. See coming down, soaking into that area that I talked about. I'll go back into the 4-hour time frame so you guys can see this a little bit better here. Come on, load up, baby. Load up. I know we got a lot going on, but boom, shakalaka, bam to bam. And so old resistance becoming a lot of main support through this key corridor area right through here that I'm circling is going to try to hold up. That's the first key bounce if you're looking to get in. I don't like when these plays reverse really hard out of the bell. So again, if you're wanting to trade earnings, I like to do it for fun here with you guys on the live stream. So I'm going to go safer. I'll see if we see 160 because we have seen this just last week where a play tries to hold the first area, comes up, but then really reverses and comes down to the key core support. I would like it to continue down here. And you can see already out of the gate there that 212.50 handle is already becoming some strong resistance. Why I would not go long, whether it's a bounce play, A is where I would be going, or B, over 220 here, my friend. And yeah, double beats yet still coming in. We got Josh in chat, VXO chat. Pick the ponies and the pros in chat talking about the Knicks or the Spurs. Edwin, how we doing? D Ryder, how we doing? Crow, everybody in chat. Tyler in chat. We're rocking, we're rolling here. I just now looked at the views. We're killing it. We're getting the views.
Whoa, look at that.
Yeah,
awesome.
Crowbar, Steve, and AK get together. It's like wrecking house. You better watch out. You never know what's gonna happen. I am out. Yeah, baby, you know it.
Give us the magic fingers. There
you know
we go.
it, baby. All right, so here's that key area. I like this right down in this area here, so we can see this is going to be the key corridor for myself. We'll go ahead and put a drawing tool in. I like to put drawing tools in. True, yeah. Let's go ahead and put a horizontal line in. We'll say somewhere right about right there. I'm going to right-click it, go to settings. Why? Because I want this thick stick right there, baby. That's got to hold. That area right through here, maybe a little bit lower. If it does not and gets through 180, she's soaking on down. With level 160 touch, we'll see if we get it. Right now, we talked about it already out of the gate there. Jonathan, that 180 area coming into play.
And it just pounded right through.
How we doing? They love the shout-outs. You got to give them shout-outs. So I hate to don't want to step on the toes there. But yeah, TL Bryant, Micron, how we doing? Reverse, I love it. Micron's like, reverse, pivot.
Put it in reverse, Terry. Come on. So, yeah, Josh, just wanted to mention we're at such a pivotal point here, just coming back in, retesting that breakout. It's a little dubious, a little ominous, a little spooky, I must say. But if it can hold here, it might turn the corner. What I would need to get involved, I know you were saying I need to get what I want to play a breakout. You're saying over the 220. For me, it'd need to be a strong reclaim of 195. 195, okay. That would probably get me in. Just a small little position to have fun. But right now, it's showing too much weakness, and it's just in that ambiguous zone there. So I can't pull the trigger. I know. I want to be in this trade, but I don't really, so I won't. I'm going to wait until I get what I really want, you know?
Hey, I get it. And it's the thing, too, trading earnings. You know, you want to wait for your specific print. We talk about this, or at least I do a lot. You know, of course, we're talking about it earlier on the lunch recap that we always do, and we just were talking about it a minute ago. I mean, I want that pitch right down the middle, right where I want it. If I don't get what I want, I'm not going to take it. Here we go, popping back up here. Could see that 190 reversal. I really would like this. Yeah. Oh, okay. Micron's loving life right now. A Micron millionaire back over 200 would be the safest area where you really could add into that. I think Steve and anyone else out there. Here's your 195 corridor and reclaim. I think over 200, 201, we're going to get real juicy. And look at the bounce play out of the gate here. Jonathan, you heard it first. Where's the bounce play? 180 and then 160.
So I'm fighting my hard drive here, my memory, so I did not get in there. We'll see if I'm able to navigate over to my charts by that time, but I got to man the numbers here. I got numbers for y'all. So revenue, 19.2 billion versus an estimated 19.1. We mentioned this, almost flat. EPS, slight beat there, 7%, 2.11 versus the estimated 1.97. Here's the guidance, though. So revenue, 90 billion versus an estimated 89 billion. It's a little bullish, but it's not that bullish, you know? So it wasn't enough to really juice us here. I think that the call and the kind of the language around that call is going to be much more important. So it'll be important to listen to that. And yeah, we get to today, so that's going to be fun. What else? They announced a 40 billion financing plan. We also have EPS at 8 for the fiscal year 28 guidance. We have EPS at 8.05 versus the estimate of 7.45. So that's a decent little beat there. I will come in and keep on chirping with more little bits of color there from the call or from the results there as I see them. But what you got on the technical side there for me, Josh?
Still holding up that 185, 180 corridor. And yeah, if anyone in chat, I'm trying to find it myself so I can copy and paste them into chat for everybody. So yeah, if anyone could find wants to copy and paste those for me, here we go. There, I think we just got some release in here that I can so I can do some copy and pasting. But yeah, if you want to copy and paste, put those numbers into chat for me. That way traders can actually just see them and read over them again. Back to technical.
Okay, sorry. I can get
that's one thing too, which I kind of forget. I want to start doing that from now on. So yeah, Steve, Ayush, well, if y'all could copy and paste those into chat, I think that would be another cool thing to have. That way they're there. And then eventually I think one thing we could start doing is put them in the description at the end of the day. Like, hey, we got them. That's going to be something that's going to be evergreen. The guys can go back and watch, or if they ever want to. And then in the description, boom, then we'll have those for them to kind of say like, hey, here are the earnings we covered today. And here are those numbers. Moving back over 200. Let's see if I'm not correct here. I'm going to go to a smaller time frame. I am in the 4 hour. I want to go back to the 5 minute here and really start to zoom in here. Let's see if that move back over 200, it does not become key. And especially, in my opinion, in this 5 minute time frame back over 202. We're fighting with 200 here. Key movement. Now, really overall battleground, right? I feel like battleground states. I don't know why when I said battleground, I was singing election time. Battleground states, battleground. Anyway, we have key.
No, you want to talk politics? Get me out. No,
Yeah,
sorry.
right.
Jump out the window.
Yeah, we come up and wick up at 212.50 in market's high of day there. How gorgeous is that? And now we found that bottom at 185. So this is one of those stocks in after hours when I see this in earnings. Do not be surprised, team, if we don't channel around from the 212.50 to this 185 bottoms. Now, if I had to pick one way or the other, I still feel the chart down more so than up. That's just the way I see the chart overall when I look at the 4-hour time frame. So don't get mad at me if it does come down micron millionaire. But I will say, if anything, let's see if we can at least consolidate up and over 200. And if we can, then that becomes a much better chance for it to move back up to the 205, 210, 212, etc.
Love it. I love it.
Mr. Dangerous in chat, how you doing, sir? And thank you, Trey. There we go. There's earnings. Got the earnings out there for you guys. Boom! Shakalaka. We got it covered for you guys. And hey, look, we got a lot of viewers in chat today. Don't be surprised if tomorrow we do some 25K eval giveaway. There's a lot of traders right now. You guys joining us across the globe. We can't thank you guys enough. And a lot of the time when you come over here, I want to make sure that you guys are treated for showing up. And that would be giving some evals away. So right now, Oracle, Micron Millionaire. Hey, here we go, Micron Millionaire. He's loving life right now. Earnings are out neats. We literally just put those just up above. EPS 2.11. Estimated was 1.96. Little beat right there. Small beats, as Steve said. Revenue was 19.18 bill versus 19.09. So again, projected move 10% overall for the move up tomorrow. Hey, if we hold 200 here, I do think Neats and everyone else, Micron's going to love this move. Your two key areas on the way back on up before we hit the high of day at that 212 area. This 203 to 212 corridor, or 203 to 212, 203 to 202.50 corridor right through here. And then the next one's going to be right there, in my opinion, right around 206, 205.75, somewhere in this corridor. Oh, come on!
Pushing, baby.
Come on! It's failing us. It's having trouble right here. Right here at this 205, 202.50, 203 mark. And again, just using chart.
It's got some congestion there, Josh. We got the VWAP from the cash session. We got a whole bunch of moving averages. I'm looking at a 5-minute. I'm looking at a 1-minute. I'm just seeing a lot of stacks there. So a lot of reasons why algos can kind of sell it off of there.
Yeah,
and
good.
Well, just real quick, Josh, I think we might, there's the red. We might be looking for a higher low to confirm this. I want to see the 195 level that I was looking for, the surge. I want to see a back test. If it gives a good back test, I mean, realistically, I'm fighting with my charts too much. I'm not going to take this trade and have to fight through a slideshow, see every other pixel. But, that is the area that I will be watching and cheering on from the sidelines, anybody who's looking to trade off that level, the 195. Perhaps you, with the working computer.
Hey, listen, you're not gonna. You're look at you. You're trying to get me in. I see what you're trying to do to me over there. Okay, you're like the little devil's advocate, little angel on one side, devil on the other. Do it, Josh, do it. And the angel's over here saying, and it's like the AK angel saying, Josh, you told yourself 160, sir, only 160. Now I will say, if we hold up longer here over the next quarter hour or so, I would love a dip back on down into this low area at the 185 mark. To me, sweeping back into an area that I feel comfortable with, I want more movement. So I feel if I get 185 again, I can move back up to 195. Thus, that's why I would look to possibly take that. I don't think we're going to get 160. I really feel like I just talked about, we're going to stay stuck inside this range, 212.50 down to around 185, 184. And again, volume. That's the biggest thing I'm always looking at when I'm looking at after hours plays. Does it continue to stay hot, or do we start to die off a little bit? And right now the volume is starting to move down just a little bit. That's not.
Oh, just the two of us? Okay, I don't even know.
Yeah. That was it. But I was saying just a little bit.
I'm sorry. I blew our cover. That was the last hope for not getting copyright struck. So I think you're calling out something really good there, looking for that volume, because so often with these plays for earnings, they do the initial move, especially on these double moves. It pushed up and then down. It kind of reset the tape, and it needs more volume to come in. Usually waiting for the cash session tomorrow, or maybe for the earnings call. Well, there's I've been watching a lot of earnings this year, especially, I'd say maybe 10% of them actually do the crazy thing that like Cisco did, for example, that a few others did, Dell, where they break out, they consolidate, Snowflake, another one, and then they
Right.
just immediately keep going. Josh, you remember Snowflake? That one was
Yep.
explosive, right?
Yep.
Just
Yep.
crazy juice.
Jumped
So
in, yeah, and that was when I jumped in long just on that, yeah, that explosive move up because it was such a big mover. How we doing? We got D
mhm.
Rider in chat. Boy, oh boy, oh, look at us. We got old Autumn Das up, go up, baby. I love it. So we got some female traders in chat. How we doing? Ked, how we doing? Good word earlier too from Mr. says the key is that they aren't borrowing more money in 2026, so no more debt for Cape X. So that's another good thing there. Oracle. I'm telling you right now that higher low pattern, like you called out there, could be coming into play here overall in this 5-minute time frame. But here's what I'm also noticing: a lower high pattern here. We're getting really tight. Are we going to make an explosive move up or down? Or are we really truly going to consolidate? Time will tell. But I do feel, again, if I had to say, Steve, it's going to consolidate. We're not. It's going to do C-pop. I thought C-pop was going to dump and drop. It didn't. It consolidated even up until right now. I think we do that here where we stay between 212.50 and 184. Although, hey, any trader out there, Francis, how we doing? Of course, traders that want this to go back on up. Woo! Here she goes. Now, again, key levels, 202.50 to 203. And then, again, somewhere right around 206 area.
It's looking pretty good, honestly. It's about to try to sweep the wick where it had trouble. I want to see if it can do that clear. Yeah, like you're saying, 203.87. That's the line for me. Also, for my system, I have an hourly trigger, as I call it, at 206. Basically, just kind of indicating that on an hourly time frame, those kind of 1 to 5 day swing traders, that's where they're going to be starting to get involved. We can break above that. So right now, we've got the faster fingered scalpers, like maybe Josh here or maybe yourself out there, playing some of these smaller moves inside the consolidation pattern. But what I'm really hunting for, what those hourly trigger traders are hunting for, is a big break or a big rejection from that other level, that 205-ish kind of look. So I think that this consolidation pattern, it does not interest me. I will say that. I will be a stickler. I'll be picky and say, I don't know, I see nothing.
She does
Nothing to
options
trade.
in chat. What's up? She's back. She does options. I've been seeing her
Yeah.
name, of course, on the live stream. VJ back
Welcome.
again. Beware. There's Beware the Monkey Hammer. Let's make that money. We'll go over to the others. Will NVDA get some love along too? So what do you think about
Good
NVDA?
question. Well, let's see. I'm waiting for my chart here. It did drop a little after hours. It has been having trouble. I do think it's fine long term as long as we're over that 190 level. I think 200 is an amazing buy op, honestly. I think it's a good stock. Josh, I don't know if you've heard of this little company called Nvidia. I'm a fan. I think it's still got some room in the tank there. That being said, if we start trading under the 200 day, that changes pretty fast. I'd really like to see the buyers step in at that 190, 195 level. Really just show some life under 200. Because, man, it is, as an NVIDIA investor, it's not been the most fun hold in the past couple weeks. I will say that.
A lot of support, yeah, and I would say in like long term, I love that 160, 170 area. We've been holding that for so long. Anytime we get to it, we hold it and we go back up for more. And that area that right there, Steve's talking about, there's that 195 mark. That would be nice to see if it actually could hold that. Maybe a little bit lower to the old resistance channel there into the 192 threes, right, or whatever. Hey, this is I've heard of it before. I thought it used to cost like $800 or $900. What happened to it?
Oh, they split a couple thousand times. This would be like a $1 billion stock if you held from 10 years ago. Josh, why aren't you a long-term holder? Why am I not a long-term holder? What are we doing? What are we doing? We could have just been sipping margaritas on a beach somewhere.
Love it. Hey, we got something that Ayush wants to talk about. A little
Yeah,
buy one get one free offer, maybe possibly. Ayush, you want to talk about? Maybe.
That's good.
That's
Look
right.
at that.
Look at this offer. Look at this. From June 8th, so already happening right now, all the way through the 25th, we're giving you a chance for all the first-time users out there. First-time users, get some people signed up. This is a chance for you to get signed up with other traders. Exclusive second chance opportunity. So, if this is your first time joining Trade the Pool and you pass the evaluation, Trade the Pool will give you another evaluation account completely free. That's right! A real second chance to come back stronger and prove yourselves. This is a one-time exclusive promotion available only during the Trading World Championship. And once it's gone, it's done, right? So take advantage of it now. The clock is ticking. Click the hub. The link is in the description. Join Trade the Pool and secure your second chance before this exclusive offer disappears. Buy an account. Get a second one free. Buy one, get one. We're doing BOGOs now. And 10% off for Juneteenth. That's right. Next Friday is Juneteenth. The market will be closed, but Trade the Pool will not be. That's right. We'll be doing a special live stream next Friday, doing 10% off all of our accounts for Juneteenth, and we'll be going live. I've been told that. So we're going to do it, and we'll have to figure out. That's news probably to even Steve. He's like, what, we are? We are, Steve.
We're going to do it live. Hey.
Yeah. So we're also going to be live this Friday. This Friday, guess what ticker drops? What's that IPO that's dropping this Friday? I think you've heard of it.
Is that NVIDIA?
I think it might be SpaceX.
Oh, I've heard of that one too. That's a small indie company, right?
Yes, they actually.
Roth IRAs in them, and I think we shouldn't have a choice. I think that they should just do it automatically for us. Does that sound like a good idea to you?
Done. I'm full porting.
Right.
I'm full porting. Full port.
He's full porting. All right. Okay. So we know what's going on. Does that mean that it's going to crash the market? I don't think so. Josh, do you think it's the end of the world?
I do know that tomorrow the World Cup starts, so you can predict here also on Trade the Pool World Cup championship matches. That's right, and went up to $1 million in evaluations. We got BOGOs. We got 10% off. We're giving away 25K evals. We're giving up to $1 million in evals just to predict the World Cup championship. You guys here in the World Trading Championships have up to win $20,000 in cash. This is the month to be a part of Trade the Pool. I'm glad you guys are here. But yes, it's been great. USA Intelligence, how we doing? Okay, real quickly though, going back to some chat. MF, sadly I sold at 190. Well, you can always get back into it once it cracks back on down. Cross-set Enterprises, how we doing? NVIDIA takes off. Though when it does take off, it will still stagnant 4 weeks and then just pop. Yeah, exactly. It's not what it used to be. That's why I was joking. What's up, Martin? How we doing, chat? I used to day trade it and had fun doing it when it was, jokingly, when it was at the 5. I think the last time I day traded it was in the, man, I really can't remember. I can't remember the last time I day traded it. It may have been in the 600, 700, something along those lines, and then became more of an investment type of play where I was just swinging it. But, man, those were fun. SMCI, NVDA days. Now we're getting almost all the time here across the board. Not to that full extreme fully, but, if you think about it, we definitely are getting that big of percentage moves almost all day, every day when you combine everything.
Josh, can I ask you something, though, real quick?
Yeah.
Well, you're saying NVIDIA is too slow, too boring. It's an old man stock. They do dividends now, for crying out loud. What if I could interest you in a semiconductor staple? It's such a great company. It's going place. It's integral in the entire AI ecosystem. And the kicker, it's twice the average volatility intraday as NVIDIA. Would that be something that interests you?
I could get I could grasp my hands around that stock. What are we talking about here?
Well, it's this little thing called NVDL, and I know I can buy a whole lot of shares of it with my Trade the Pool account, and I can make a whole lot of money. So I don't know why you're whining and belly aching about this thing not being exciting enough, because I'm sure having a good time. So you should come on in, dude. It's a good time.
Oh, I've got something for you. So if you think that's fun, oh, you think that's cute. Oh, that's so cute. Let me introduce you to small caps, my friend. Let me introduce you to 1 to 67 in the same day, my friend. Let me tell you something. Right. You want to step on my toes over here and I'd say I don't like the fun. Oh, I like fun, but it's got to be a good dance party. Listen, I can't tango. You know why? Because it's too slow of a dance, baby. I want to get the crunk juice flowing and going, and I don't even know what kind of dance I would do. What is a fast-paced dance? I guess
I feel like you would be a wicked crumper, you know?
A wicked what?
Crumping? Like, I'm from the Bay Area, so we had the hyphy movement. We used to get crazy. Some Lil Jon, some Mac Dre in the house. So I don't know. I'm just imagining you.
Crump. I've not seen the crump dance. I know what crunk is, but crump.
It's a dance that I think that you could excel in. Personally, I hit the Carlton. That's my go-to.
Okay. Hey, can you actually do a good Carlton?
No, I lied. I lied to you guys, and you called me out, and I'm embarrassed. I wish I could.
I was gonna say you've got to get up. You've got enough space behind you to do the Carlton. So
I do have a nice Carlton sweater, but that's about as far as we can go there. Let's be real.
I love it.
Meanwhile, are we seeing this bleed? It's just a slow bleed, and I think you were right. It's just there's no juice. There's no juice in the tank for Oracle here.
Avgo, real quickly, go back to that. I know we talked about this one last week. If this one wants to pop up, I don't know what's going on here. There we go. Broadcom. We'll go back to this real quickly. And this was the play, remember last week that I was saying this could come down to that 420 handle, overall in time and maybe even further, where I know a lot of you guys in chat were going, oh no, AK, what? I was wanting it to come back down to this 420 area or maybe even down to here. And it's found its way even lower. And so I know in chat we had asked there. Real quickly, we'll make sure we hit up all these plays. MF Dangerous says, what's going on with your World Series? Did that start, finish? Yes, the Trade World Championship. Started. Is that what you're talking about, MF Dangerous? And yes, we are right now in the middle of our Trading World Championship. And here we go here. Let's just go ahead and actually take a little gander if we can here, the leaderboard. That's right. Let's check out the leaderboard here. How are we doing in the Trading World Championship? Let's refresh it. There we go. Let's get a refresher, Rooney, Baba Rooney. 30,000 traders overall altogether. Who's got the top spot? Woo! Now we're talking. Now these guys, over here, they're all trading. These have got to be this got to be 4X. This has got to be 4X.
That's NVIDIA. You can't tell?
Oh, that's NVIDIA. Okay. You know what over there? You're funny. What's this? What's this US dollar? XAGUSD. What's that, I wonder? I've never traded that before, my friend.
It's some kind of 4X pair. Let's XAG. Oh, I'm gonna do some digging. I'll get back to you on that.
That's all. Hey, that's the whole leaderboard. That is the whole leaderboard. Are people trading futures right now?
That's silver.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
See, they're all short silver. Oh, that's awesome. I don't trade the futures. I just trade the old SLV shares. I'm boring, but that's a big move. Okay.
We'll go to trade the pool and see how much we're up here. All right, Bala up 277%, Brian Law up 247%, Anthony Heaton up 200%. So yes, we got the tournament rocking and a rolling, rocking and a reeling. And there you go. There's the leaderboard, at least here for trading equities and shares. Oh, and look at all the shorts. INHD could be longs though. INHD, PAVs, M10, CCTG. These are all the stocks I've been looking at this week.
Josh, who hurt you? Why did you just assume short? Why can't you be an optimist like me and assume long? They're betting on this amazing company known as INHD, I guess. Yeah, you know that amazing company. They're basically NVIDIA.
What are you talking about? I love it. Avgo, please. Right. Yeah, so we got put Avgo or on a fib, Steve. All right. So put Avgo or GEV. Let's see, Avgo, please. So you're wanting to know Avgo. What do you want to know about Avgo?
It's a trick question. I already know. I bet that sounded like talk, and he said, put it on a fib. He says, I spy with my little eye, and he wants to test me. I can tell. So I believe it's going to be a 50% fib if I get this pullback. Yeah, bada bing, bada boom. I can pull it up on my screen too if you like. But this is the
dip buy. I mean, I'll just say right here, if you get to 325 to 300, buy. This is a great resistance support area right through this area is where I would say. Or you could go in the top portion of it at 350. So those would be my two dip buy areas. And now I know you just asked about it. You said Avgo, please, Martin. This is coming down. This hit a nice, good all-time high here. CrowdStrike just did the same thing. 500 is a beautiful number to hit to. Anyway, she's coming on down, Johnny. And I think minimum 350, we could see all the way down to low 300s, 315, 310. So that's my say. What you say?
I'm going to give you some fighting words, Josh. I'm going to be a little bit... we got to do the Sports Center, ESPN, back and forth. It can't be all on the same side. I think we might be at an area of interest here on Broadcom. I think the bottom wick yesterday was compelling. I mean, you could say that about a lot of things in the market. What I'll say about Broadcom in particular, though, if we go to my chart real quick, I'd love to show you just what I think Talk was looking for here. This is a really, really pristine 50% pullback. I was like, is that my screen? I'm not used to this dark color. Okay, really clean 50% pullback. We have the low, we have the high, and right in the middle, you can see this red line. That's the 50% at 378.75. So if we can reclaim that on an intraday level, and it starts ticking all the boxes like we kind of look for on a lower time frame setup, well, that might be a really good level to mark out, put an alert there, because I think that's a level of interest. Right under us, we have my daily trigger, a little proprietary thing that basically roughly gauges the strength of investors who are using a daily time frame chart, this kind of 370 zone. And then we got the 200 at 358. Then we got the round number at 350. Then we got the breakout gap at 334. So I will say, if we can't hold that 200 day, we might end up needing to fill this gap. That being said, Josh, I think This one wants to catch somewhere in that 350, 360 zone. So that's my hot take of the week. I think Broadcom almost done with the pain, almost time to start loading. It just might take a while to get to new all-time highs.
All right, Al says, albx.com asking about Marvel as it has been coming back on down here today. Could fill the gap all the way back down. If we do crack back under 243, I could see this all the way back down to 220s, if not 221, essentially where we blew up from there just the other day. So, Marvel, I say down. Just overall, just seems like these plays that have been overextended now have hit their prime move for the pullback. And I think that's what we're hitting right now. And that's fine. We're due to healthy pullbacks. You can't always go up. It'd be great, right? We just go up forever. Not the case. I do see this coming down from more. It does look like maybe a reclaim, in my opinion, what I'm looking at over here, a reclaim of somewhere right around 270, 250 to 275-ish area. Then we'll see that pop back on up.
250, 275, you say?
The pop on up would be 270, 250, 270, 250 area. 270, 250.
250. Okay, sorry, dyslexic here. Yes, all right, I like it. So yeah, I'm basically going to say the same thing. It needs to cool off a little bit. I think this one's going a lot higher. I do not think it's done. I just think it might mess with you a little bit. Do I know that? No. So what I'm going to be watching to check my bias here, see if we can reclaim this 9-day first off. That'd be at 260, a reclaim of 260. I think this thing can just carve on up, start coasting this moving average up again, and just keep on keeping on. I don't think it's the end of the world, this thing going from 320 to 220, whatever, 250, whatever, it doesn't matter. It can go down to 200 and still go much higher. So the gap fill at 220, that's where I'd really like to get involved. Got my daily trigger, got the gap fill, and then right about there, if it does reclaim this 21 day moving average, which I kind of am inclined to think it will, well, I'm at a nice really safe level at that 220 handle. So that's my read on Marvel.
AMC, next on up, we have AMC for TL Bryant in chat. Asked for AMC stock and options are working. Take a look. Now, I know if Michael Noss is in here, he would be giving his AMC spiel. Listen, I would give a very similar spiel. I don't think AMC is a good company. I really listen.
That's Adam Aaron calling. He wants a word with you, Josh.
Hold on a sec. Listen, hold on. Let me talk to him. What's up? It's Josh. I told you your company sucks, bro. Yeah. Okay. Why don't you combine? And I told you Dave & Buster's was your out. You get with Dave & Buster's. You put them in your rest. Or what are you doing? You didn't want to make the deal. You dropped the ball. I'm done.
No deal. Oh, there we go. All right, we got the buzzer. I feel like that episode of Always Sunny where Dennis gets buzzed on that talk show and he's like in physical pain. I'm like, oh, I don't like that. I want to avoid that sound. I got to get the right answers there. Ayush's going to be quick to the
love it.
quick to the buzzer there.
I've told him that's what we're messaging always in the background like Red or whatever. And I was like, hey, we need to add some more of these. And we got some. I think we need more. Adding more just to have those extra little times. They're fun. Yeah, you don't want to overdo it and overkill with the soundboard, but he's doing good, doing great. Yeah, it's fun to have those different ones, and just adds a little bit of funness to it. Anyway, back to AMC. I think they fumbled away so many things they could have done with that. Just me, and even me. Like I'm not lying. I would love to, if I had the capital or could come up with investors. There's a guy in chat. His last name's Leglighter. I think it's a really catchy last name, and so we open up a Buc-ee's, but we call it Leglighters. And Leglighters is just like Buc-ee's, but it's got a casino. It's got a 10-story resort. It's got an 18-hole golf course. It's got a movie theater. It's got a bowling alley. It's got a driving range. It's got a strip club with a gun range next to it. Okay? Listen, ain't no one going to Buc-ee's after they come to Leglighters, okay? They ain't going. They ain't going nowhere else. They're going to Leglighters or bust. Buc-ee's are going to be like, oh, it's going to be like those movies where you're like, the kid's going to be like, oh, we're going to Buc-ee's. And all the fun kids are going over to Leglighters and like, yeah, Leglighters. We're on Saturdays. You get lighters for half off.
We're giving lighters to kids as promotions. Okay, I'm in. This place sounds awesome. This reminds me of like the South Park, like Casa Bonita or something. It's like I want to go to this place. I want to go to Leglighters now. You've sold me. Dave & Buster's who? Anyways, I was trying to talk just a brief bit about the technicals on AMC, if that's all right with you, Mr. Leglighter Incorporated.
Yes.
I didn't want to step on your riff there. Okay, I was I was there in my head. I was playing skee ball. I was winning tickets. I was having a blast.
Yes, right,
But
right,
why
exactly.
can't AMC do that?
Yeah.
What's the deal? Well, this is, I will say, this has been absolutely gate kept by this 200-day moving average, this purple level here. 1, 2, 3 knocks. This is the fourth and now fifth attempt to break through this thing. It's got a nice volatility compression, coiling action here. You can see these three different pink contractions are getting tighter and tighter right into this major level. So I do think it wants to go up. Am I saying this? Am I bullish AMC? I think it might go back to $3 and then die horrendously for another year or
I
so.
like that. I like it. Yeah, I like that area. I'm seeing it myself too. Starting right around the 270s, 80s, and then working into that 3 handle. So, and what happens on June 18th? I know it's June 19th. It's Juneteenth, baby. What TL Brown says, Josh, let's talk June 18th. With a bunch of the bullseyes. I don't know what is on June 18th. Enlighten me.
Well,
Keep going through these.
OPEX. That's big. It's big OPEX, options expiration date. I'm watching that pretty closely to see as we shift. Yeah, we're gonna have a lot of gamma rolling off there, so it'll be a new regime that we'll be able to talk about. Got cat hair flying everywhere. Got one of these on my lap.
Love it.
She's so relaxed.
I know all about that. And Oracle, we get asked that a lot, on these live streams. Nick asked about why did Oracle drop $10 just now after smashing earnings. We just see that so often in earnings. It's never really truly about the earnings themselves and those numbers. Yes, there are times when I do feel it can be about the numbers, and those could really play a role pivot-wise as far as it goes up or goes down. That's not always going to be the case, though. I've said this throughout the years, and here on the live streams and after hours over the past few weeks that we've done these, for years I've seen it where it's bad earnings. Why is it going up? I'm short on this. Why is it going up? This is terrible. Or vice versa. I remember even when we first started covering these, which was actually back earlier this year in February. So our first time around really covering earnings and after hours, me and Steve covered Meta one day, and Meta had a crazy move down, but then a massive move up. So essentially, it moved up, and I forgot what it was, but Steve it was essentially on the lines. The last earnings they had in November or October, whenever it was, they beat, was good, and it dumped. It was just bad. It was just down. And we and Steve were talking about it because here we are again in February. Same thing, beats, but now we're up. It's like, okay, we beat before, but we're down, and bad down. Same, and it's not like there's ever really this fine line of going, oh, that's why we're going down this time versus why we're going up. There's never really truly that, I would say, a lot of the time.
Yeah, it's not going to be as cut and dry as that, but what I would say is there is kind of a magic hand-wavy answer that we can say, and we can just say, well, positioning, There's a lot of moving parts in kind of the plumbing of the market and the bets that people are taking, and I always tell people, we're not trying to buy the best companies, guys. We kind of know who they are. If it was that simple, that's all we do. And sure, that's not a bad strategy. Just buy Apple, buy Amazon, buy Microsoft, buy Google. Well, maybe not Microsoft anymore. Apparently, we don't need software. Anyways, we're all about getting the best bang for our buck. We're about buying the company that is the most mispriced, Yeah. And so when you have everything ripping in the market, it drags everything up. And then when earnings comes, it's kind of like the Grim Reaper knocking on each and every door going, hey, you got a free ride up on the escalator or on the elevator, but now I'm the bouncer. So you better come correct, right? You better bring your A game. Otherwise, sorry, we're at capacity. Get back down to the next floor and try again. So It's less like Oracle is a failure or Oracle is a legitimately worse company than they were yesterday. It's more like, well, they came in line or slightly above in line. The level that we were looking to beat, the metric that we were looking to beat was 90 billion on the what was it? One of their numbers was 90 billion. I don't know. You guys don't make me read things. I'm going to summarize in just a little bit. But essentially, just so I don't lose my train of thought here, it wasn't that the numbers were terrible. It's that the numbers weren't stellar. And the market is now in fear mode. We had all of these great results that got punished, like Broadcom. That was like the first good result that wasn't amazing, and they got punished just for not being amazing and stellar. So Oracle, they didn't have their big run up. People are still pretty skeptical on software as a service as a whole, and these guys are tied to the hyperscaler trade, which got pumped and now is starting to potentially come down a little bit. So it's a lot of pressure structurally on Oracle. You add to that Somebody's out there, some jabronis out here buying massive sweeps of 240 calls for like next week or something. And well, you know what? That just kind of shifts the positioning as well. And it can just mess with things. And all it can take is that's just a lot more incentive. If there's a ton of calls that are going to expire next week for way up there, if we don't get the amazing beat, market makers can just kind of keep this thing on rails if there's no big catalyst to send it, and they get to capitalize, collect on all those calls that some jerk thought they were going to print off of because they thought we were going to get a $100 move or something. So just saying, it's not that they're a bad company. It's just maybe not the right time for them right now. It didn't align. What I'm seeing is they're coming back to support. Let's see what they do at 185. So far, finding support there. As long as that holds, and especially the 175, I think they're a good company. I think they work their way back up. What do you think, Josh?
I say, well, yeah, oh yeah, hey, we called it 185, 160 if we have to, but she's up for sure. And I think we're going to get that where we're getting this consolidation now, where the volume is really starting to slide off here. I would be surprised if we crack down below 185. Would be even more surprised if we broke up through the 205 mark, 202.50, 203 mark that we were talking about earlier. I just don't see that happening now. It seems like we're going to consolidate here. Always Sunny is the best MF Dangerous talking about that TAC. Dave and Buster's would have been awesome. I try to tell them, TAC, if more of these companies would just listen to my ideas, that's why I wish I would have been a true consultant. I mean, my gosh, AMC wouldn't be in the dumpster. GameStop would actually tag team with AMC. Imagine AMC and GameStop combining into one company as they should have. I don't even want to get into it. The intelligence investor, I'm curious what you think about SNDK. I just told my followers I think SNDK is going to 4K.
SNDK to 4K. That's I was told take your meds when I said SanDisk is going to 1,000. Let alone. Oh wow, we got all the way to 1850. Incredible. So you're saying it's another double? That's what you're telling me?
I'll go. I mean, well, we remember Micron for me was a 1,000, maybe $1,500 ticker. SanDisk about a little over a month ago. Remember we've talked about this. My shout out on Cinco de Mayo to get in back in early May. I said this ticker is a $2,000 ticker, maybe 2,500. 4,000. I think the legs that were grown on SanDisk to have this phenomenal move up are starting to extinguish. I think the legs are on fire now, so to speak, and we're going to have to start putting them out. Okay. That's just me. If we go to 4K, you come back here and you put it right in my pipe and I'll smoke it.
Okay, so we're not going to 4K anymore. I just wanted to.
Well, I didn't know. Hold on. So we were going to 4K the way you just worded that. So we're not going anymore is what you said. I never said it.
I'm not the Wizard of Oz. I'm looking to you for questions because you've been slaying these things. Hey, I do have a few opinions.
Opinions. Well, okay. What did you? Hey, listen. Opinions are like onions and they stink. Okay. I'm just kidding.
That's one of the ways That's one of the ways I've heard that. So SanDisk here for me. I love my fibs, especially when we're looking for these parabolic movers. And I'll always be the first to say these are just. It's like, they're like guidelines. They're not hard rules. They're guidelines because we're just in price discovery. So we just have to have some metrics to the upside. So when we initially put in this parabolic move and started to have our first consolidation, moving from, $40 up to 293 and then coming back, cracking down to 182. Looks very small in the context of this move, but this red candle here was like a 30% drawdown, 25-30%. So that was when everybody started questioning the narrative. That's when I started saying, time to buy. I liked it. So I missed the first move, but this was easy in my book. And what we said basically was, well, measured moves, they're already getting crazy. If this is a high and tight flag, which we assumed it would be, it would then surge up to essentially, well, the 2x of that whole move. So that's up to 1630. This was always my target, the 1500 to 1630. The 1500 comes from this little range extension too when we consolidated sideways, then broke out of that. So between those two, we had a nice little confluence of areas here. So for me, this was the last spot to ring the register. I'll be honest, I mismanaged the trade. It's a lot per share. So like I sold early. I ended up running out of shares, running out of ammo, as Josh would say. So, Micron held a little longer. DRAM, the last one, I'm still holding because I don't do well with these crazy runners, to be honest, because we've already had such a crazy move. How do you just keep on holding and holding? That being said, it can rebase, it can keep flagging. So I'm just going to keep on trusting the 9-week moving average. 9-week moving average. I'll take my crayons off here to just show you nice and clean. That top blue line, the top of my yellow zone, that blue line, as long as this keeps closing the week over this, I'm a buyer. So if we get a crack down here to 1385 or so, 1400 on SanDisk, same thing on Micron. It's the same chart. Take my drawings off of here. Who needs them?
Who needs
them, Josh? You know, right back here to 736. Although I am going to put my drawings back because I like them. But who needs them? Yeah, that's what I think about memory.
Like it. Yeah. No, listen. You got. Hey, we all have our own opinions, like onions, right? I just always say that because if, like the word onion is an opinion, so I always am like, you can get the word onion out of opinion, so that's why. I like the way
layers to that statement, Josh.
All right.
Much like.
Wow. And I love it though. Intelligence investor. Yeah, I got it though. I love the optimism and seeking the alpha. And yeah, that would definitely be about max move if we could get that. Love it though. Let's see here. MF dangerous. Yes. Plus a call. We got this. We got the call coming up. The call, as we call. Man, my gosh, we are so far. I'm so far behind. How about Tesla coin flip? SpaceX #1 into the year. Ooh, how about a coin? Yeah, Tesla coin flip. SpaceX. S1's Tesla end of year. That would be intriguing to see exactly what that would be. Explain the buying of call sweeps and what it does to price.
Okay, I can do that. Yeah. All right.
And then we're gonna go ahead. ALBX.com asked about explain the buying of call sweeps. I've never done them before. And what it does to the price itself.
Sure thing. Sorry, let me. That thing's frozen here. So essentially, there's a few things that are going on, and it's going to be a little hard to explain super briefly, but I'll do my best. So first off, for anybody who doesn't know what a call sweep is, it's going to be a large order of calls that are all bought at the ask. So that means that it's a large order that came in at once. It's one buyer, and he wants to get in right now. He said, put me in, coach. I will pay what it costs. So he's paying the ask, what the market is asking for those calls. That's usually a sign of bullishness because it's very speculative. Why are they doing it if they don't have a good reason? You know, that kind of thing. So it's not always a sign of something good to come, but very often when something good happens, somebody was hammering calls first. Very often somebody knows. So that's what a call sweep is, first off. Yeah, they're typically institutional or well-capitalized smart money. Maybe it's, that guy on, whatever forum that's trading with like $1 million plus or something. Maybe his trades are getting flagged, but not me or Josh's, not yet at least. So there's a few concepts here. Let me drink water before I get into this.
You got it. And then we're going to look at Pops Mafia. We got you coming up next, boss. We'll look at GEV up next.
Yeah, absolutely. So the first thing to explain is delta hedging. And let me see if I can navigate to SPX to show an example of this while we talk.
Talking them Greeks over there to me now, huh?
Yeah. We can talk Vanna, Gamma, Volma, all my friends. I can charm you. You like that? That's some wordplay for you.
Yeah, right.
3 people in the world probably appreciate it, but I'm one of them. So let's see. All right, here is SPX with all of these different levels on them. So what these are telling us, and especially I want to focus on these big kind of chunky shelves. These are representing the options flow. So a big red bar here means that a lot of puts were bought at this price. So this big bar, this would be red, but I made it purple because it's the biggest. And you can see how just the act of a lot of these strikes being these puts being bought today, intraday, just the fact that happened and we were in this downward, trending environment. Well, as this worked, the market makers had to basically say, hey, we sold all of these puts. We're losing money if we don't also sell the underlying, sell SPY, and that will make the market makers delta neutral, which just means flat. So they're selling puts, and then the puts start to pay out. So then they have to essentially hedge that by selling the underlying, which, hey, makes the, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy there. So that is just an example of today, intraday, how those short-dated puts, that short-dated options flow can really affect price. We can see how price basically just waterfall down to that purple level by the end of the day there. So when we're talking about options calls going into a big binary print, there's two things that can happen. So what happened, we'll go to Oracle, is somebody bought a whole bunch of 240 calls, I believe. 220, but especially 240 calls. So they were buying strikes. They were very elevated. They were buying, I'll show you. A little bit there, but a whole lot more up here. So they're banking on the earnings being good enough to break us out over that 220 level that Josh was saying. That's where things get really cooking, right? So that's where it's kind of like shorts start getting squeezed. Well, the idea here, it's called a gamma squeeze. That's the angle that these bulls were playing for. They want to get price above 220. So then the market makers, they start having to buy Oracle along with all the speculators who are buying Oracle on these good earnings that they're anticipating. So then it's a frenzy, right? We have all of the shares going long, being bought to open. You have shorts once we break here, probably getting stopped out. Then they're buying to close. You have all these reasons that are pushing the market up. And the idea is if it can get over these key levels, well, then it's basically in a squeeze where it has to just keep being bought. And it's only really, capped by, or I should say that these gamma calls basically are big fuel to the fire, as the market makers are basically obligated to buy the stock up. That's only if we get big outsized bullish results, a print that basically catches the street offsides, catches market makers offsides, and they get gamma squeezed. So that's like what happened with GameStop, for example. Very unlikely that it happens on such a large ticker to that degree, of course. But even it's just harder to squeeze a large float in general. So when you see all of these calls being bought up here and you know what it takes to monetize those, as a market maker, this can kind of keep things on rails a little bit. So it could be a sentiment signal, but if it doesn't pay out, often that could just be a sign of retail FOMO, and the smart money is on the other side of that trade, just kind of collecting that rent, so to speak, if that kind of makes sense. The other part of that is IV expansion, into the print, and then that IV gets crushed horrendously after the print. So that's going to make those calls go down very much. Because they expire so fast, the market maker doesn't have to hedge them. They don't have to buy shares of Oracle up to 240. They can just let those expire and pocket the money. So I hope that wasn't boring as heck. I hope that kind of explained it. If you have more questions, I'd be happy to dig into more to that. And if this stuff interests you and you want to really hone in, I do a lot of one-on-one coaching with this kind of gamma expiry stuff, so we can kind of follow these currents intraday and see how plays are playing, or see how to trade them intraday, especially SPX.
When does the actual call start for Oracle?
5 minutes here. 6 minutes should be the start of the call. They're almost always at the start of the hour here, so I'm going to start getting those up. Josh, could you hop on the charts just while I give I think I might need to give my computer just a quick reset here, because I'm still struggling to get anything done on the movement side. Is that all right?
Yeah.
Just 2 minutes?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I got the Optimus Prime computer over here. This thing says it will not fail for anything. Oh, and watch I say that, and all of a sudden the stream goes, everything goes down.
Nice. All right, I'm gonna hop right back in. I'll be right back, guys.
All right, TL Bryant, love the love there. Thank you for the love there. Pops Mafia, yeah, GEV, the General Electric Verona or whatever. Again, does it get back down into these areas? I doubt it ever sees this 600 corridor, but man, I love when I see a bunch of old resistance pile up on top of an area. I know it's not perfect consolidation in this area, but boy, oh, anything under 700 to 650 would be great. I don't think you're going to get it. I think the best you'll get, I love this right here. This 730 fail, come back, reclaim test, bam-a-ram. Got really close to it there, so maybe start adding in at 750 to 725. That's the safe area. Looking online, people have dip buys in the 800s. And you could start in the low 800s if you want to. This is definitely a long still. A lot of these plays, again, we're overextended off of the move we made from March into May. Some plays have been pulling back through May. Some are starting it in June. It just is the market we're in right now. I mean, we're always going to be shifting. We're always going to be continuing to shift back and forth, back and forth. This is finally a little bit of a bearish mode. I would say this comes on down. Wait for bounce plays. Is it done? No, none of these plays are done. That's why they're up so high. I mean, that's why, you know, guys got SanDisk at $8,000 or freaking whatever, right? We're in a very bullish market. I don't think that bubble pops anytime soon. Keep rolling through. Mimus Dangerous. How we doing? And Intelligence Investor. That guy says, come on. Let's make it, 6K might as well. What's up, Sean Hodge in chat? How we doing? Tack in chat. Nigel, I'm slowly catching freaking back up to all you guys. Freaking chat is rocking and rolling today. DJ AM. That's right. You think these are platinum albums by myself? No, these are actually DJ AM's albums. The guy you see in chat. I'm just the producer. He puts the albums out. We go platinum. We do have one gold. You know, one of them wasn't that great, but 500,000 copies. I'm kidding, Intelligence Investor. You know me. Hey, well, you'll get to know me hopefully as you come back more. I like to have fun, joke around, Josh around, so to speak. That's the name. Truly, my name's Josh, but I'm just a fun, goofy person. But yeah, hey, I wouldn't be surprised. I'm all for it. I want things to the moon. I've said that when freaking SPY for the 8 million freaking years, it was sitting here failing over and over and over at the 680-690 mark. Come on, pull on up here. Pull it on up here. Pull it on up there, Jeff. This, for how long was this? Months. You know, months. I'm like, just go. Go through 700. Go, 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 go. So it's, 3 months of me just waiting for this next leg up here. And finally, we get it. And man, it's been fun over the last few months. I love when we go to all-time highs. It's my favorite time to trade. I love 23 into 24, trading NVDAs and SMCIs. Google even at the time when it was in the hundreds, and Microsoft when it was in the hundreds, or maybe, I don't remember, it was in the 200s maybe when I first started trading Microsoft. I know Google was breaking like the 160 mark when I traded it for the first time ever day trading it. I love it. I love when we go to all-time highs. It creates cleaner, better charts in my opinion. I hate when we get into the Chopville USA. Whatever you want to call it, no man's land. It's just absolutely poop sauce. I don't like it. I'm not a big fan of it. I like nice, clean charting, and we usually create that when you move to all-time highs. So, man, I'm all for it. All for it. Yep, fully understand. Yeah, you're good. Hey, I've seen it all, though. I mean, I say I've seen it all. I'm like when I go, I've seen the depths of the. I need to come up with like a good speech. I've seen HKD go from, and I have to go back on HKD. I have to go back so far here. I don't know how far back I'd have to go. Not one. I don't know what chart I'd even have to pull up here on HKD to show this off. I'd have to go back a really long way. That's for sure. Oh, here it is. There it is. There's the daily chart. I truly saw HKD from the depths of the sea. New IPO play. That's why you don't see any charting back here. New IPO play goes from $17. This is not a reverse split. That is truly a spike to 25 hundo. Is that not absolutely crazy? I've seen it all. I've seen it all. That's what I was literally saying on the live stream here recently. I forgot which one I was on, but I was saying, listen, I don't know if I will ever see a play that I haven't, or see something new, or something that surprises me, I guess I should say. I pretty much have seen the stock market halt, when SPY and COVID in 2020, and it just was in awe, like, wow, everything's, I just type in a ticker, it's halted. It's been fun. It was really fun to see that, and go throughout the years of all the different ways I've been trading and the stock market going back and forth. So, hey, give it to me. I want it. I love it. I'm all about the energy and excitement anyway, so. How we doing here? Let's see here. Steve he said, hey, he might be on the call. Steve, you on the call? I'm gonna call Steve right now. Steve, you on the call? We on the call? Steve is actually on the Oracle call. I think he's actually gonna be. All of a sudden when he chimes back in, he's on his phone. He's actually in the office sitting. All right, guys, I'm sitting in on the call right here. Delonte, what's up, brother? What do you think about trading leverage stock instead of the actual stock? Yeah, it's funny. We were literally just talking about that. Of course, something you can do here on Trade the Pool is you can go over here and trade NVDL. He said, hey, Josh, NVDA, it's not very fun, said Steve. Well, why don't you trade NVDL? So, yes, I don't trade them myself. TSLL over Tesla, that's another one that you could trade. I know I have a lot of traders trading those. Do it. I would advise it, especially if you're newer to the game, aren't that experienced. Don't go running over to options just to make NVDA fun. Go over to NVDL.
I love it. That was a great impression of me, by the way, Josh. In fact, that is exactly what I sound like.
Well, I know something like that. I think it's what he said.
Pretty much. Well, I'm just getting all set up here in the earnings call. Should be about to start any minute, and I will be piping that through here as soon as I have that ready for all.
Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Now, I will, Steve, I'm going to stick around for about 10, 15 more minutes here, and then I've got the usual run-of-the-mill craziness here. Look at them. They are literally, guys. I know people that maybe just joining for the first time. We got dogs everywhere. They're going, Dad, look at her. Look at Margot.
They know what time it is.
Let me out. It's time to eat. It's time to go on walks. What are we doing over here?
Oh, don't say that. Now they know. No.
All right. They already know because of the time. They know. They get to this time of the day, and boy, they get antsy. They say, let's get it. How we doing? Aussie Chicken Chat. Oi. There she is, Miss Ingrid. How we doing? Oracle call starting. Yes. You got that pulled up over there?
I'm getting the window up right now. We can pop to it whenever. I should be able to pipe the sound right through. If this doesn't work, I might have to reload the window, but we'll get there for sure.
I hear something.
Hearing that coming through?
I do. Delonte, you got it, boss. You got it. Yes. But I love it. Trading the leverage stock instead. Do it. Go do it, Delonte. It's good stuff. Go trade those versus going and getting those big dudes. Those big dudes can wreck your account. I'm going to trade them on my small. Look at you. Good job, Delonte. Again, we got all these. We got Tony Braxton, Coach TV, that comes in, former 90s singer, wink, right? Beautiful singer, but it's actually the Tony Braxton in our chats is a male. I think they're related anyway. But then we get Delonte West. I swear that he used to play for the Cavaliers. Delonte West, a former NBA player there. He says, you know what? I'm taking my money to the stock market, baby.
Sorry, I'm trying to get this properly sized here. And there we go. All right, Josh, I'm going to put the sound back on here, and I'll be following along, popping in with commentary as they talk, but let's hear what they have to say.
You guys get anything on the live stream? I don't know why I'm not hearing anything now, Steve.
Oh, you're not?
Yeah. No sound. Yeah, Pop's mom. I'm not hearing anything.
Sound. All right, let me try this again. Apologies there. It's coming through for me.
Okay.
All right, I'll do that.
We're getting it going. Steve's going to give it over to Ayush, our producer in the background. Producer Ayush will get it up and rolling. Hey, so far so true. Now this earnings call might change the narrative where I said we'd stay between 185 and essentially 212.70. You know, the high and the low that we created in that very first big candle. The only thing, and I said, and I know you guys didn't want to hear it, I had this more to the downside. If anything, it's all good. You know, it's all good. Don't be scared that it's going on down. We're due for some pullback here. And if we do crack 185, you still got some more support at 175 and 160-ish area. Yeah, he was a good dude. He was Delonte West. So, yeah, the NBA contract was not big enough. Good to hear D West going straight. Yeah, exactly, right? I love it. Dudes Travels, how we doing in chat? Thank you, Intelligence and Pops Mafia. We're going to get it going. And as soon as the sound comes up, as you as well, Steve, once I hear that, we know the audio's going, I will go ahead and step on out. Steve will guide you through the rest of the earnings call here for the rest of the day. But we want to start making these after-hour streams a little bit longer for you guys, the ones that are still sticking around, wanting those earnings calls, because we know they're very important to you. What's up, Hugh? Hugh in chat. Great show. Any insight? Buying SpaceX tomorrow at 135 before going public. Okay, hey, if you could buy it at 135, I think over time SpaceX will see higher than that. There's always a pullback. I had fun with SpaceX and said SpaceX to the moon. This week we do a call-in show every Friday night. This last Friday night, the question of the week was, what is the high? The close. What is the close print price come Friday? So come join us tomorrow night, we're almost to Friday. Join us Friday night. We'll go over that, and it'll be a lot of fun. But I do like it. I think it'll go up. I really do. I think for some reason it's going to have some crazy parabolic move. That's just how I feel. We got it. We got the link going.
We are getting there. I'm not sure if this is audible.
Let's try. One-time net gain on investment.
Is this coming through now?
Including this, our non-GAAP EPS increased by 20%. Turning to the full year, we surpassed revenues of $67 million for the first time, which translated into strong non-GAAP operating income of
Love it here at Pops Mafia. There we go. Tack. All right, guys. My boy Steve, I love you so much. I'm going to head out, walk the dogs. They can't wait to go for a walkie-talkie, get the workout in. You guys have a great, safe, blessed, food-filled day. Join us back here tomorrow. The Trading World Championship continues. We got more eval giveaways. Buy one, get one free. This whole month, almost this whole month, goes through the 25th. Any evaluation you buy in your first time buyer, we're going to get you another one on top of that. Juneteenth, next Friday, we'll be going live. We'll be giving away maybe some evals then, but we will have a 10% discount on all our evaluations. I think that's about it for now. Join us back here tomorrow morning. Thank you all for joining us in this after-hour stream. Here is the earnings call. Delonte, Nigel, Tack, DJ, every one of you guys. Mwah!
We did continue with our program of capital
Steve, in the background.
I'll see you guys tomorrow. The strong growth opportunities in front of us. Our net cash outlay for capital expenditures for the full year was $48 billion, taking into account prepayments and timing impacts of around $8 billion. You can see the table showing the details of net cash outlay for CapEx in our press release. We think this measure is important to better understand our funding needs. And our remaining performance obligations, or RPO, finished at $638 billion, up 363%. This unprecedented level of RPO provides exceptional visibility into our future revenue growth, all supported by long-term contractual customer commitments, and reflects the strong customer demand we see across both AI infrastructure and cloud services. To give a bit more detail on our RPO, we expect 12% to be recognized in the next 12 months and another 34% between 13 and 36 months. And these percentages are both expected to accelerate over the coming quarters based on our current long-term outlook. Mike and Clay will now get into a bit more detail on our cloud businesses, and then I'll be back with our outlook for fiscal year 27 and Q1.
Thank you, Hillary, and welcome to Oracle. So I'm going to cover our cloud apps and cloud database business in a bit more detail, both of which performed quite well in Q4. We're on the front end of one of the most interesting times in the technology business. Our customers are now focused on how to leverage AI in their own businesses. They want AI to increase productivity, enhance customer service, and create real competitive advantages. And they want to do it quickly and within their existing budget envelope. Oracle's unique advantage is that we deliver the applications, the data, the infrastructure, the AI tooling, and the industry expertise together. That combination invariably puts us at the center of customer conversations, whether they're existing Oracle customers or not.
Just testing my audio really quick. Should be coming through again.
The experiment stage with AI. They are ready to implement enterprise-grade, complete agentic solutions to help run their businesses. Over the past year, we have delivered more than 1,000 AI agents across our application suites. These agentic-based offerings can reason, decide, and execute work across processes. So the quickest, most affordable, and most productive way customers can begin consuming AI is just to continue using Oracle's applications, since every 3 months they get more and more of the AI features built for them and ready to go. This is a major shift in enterprise software, and Oracle is uniquely positioned to lead it. And you can see it in our Q4 results. Oracle Cloud Applications generated revenues of $4.1 billion, which was up 10%, and our SaaS deferred revenue was up 16% in the quarter. Across the company, we took thousands of customers live last quarter, over 300 in Fusion alone. Exelon adopted our utilities platform to manage operations. Wright County Sheriff's Office went live with our public safety suite. Westfield Insurance implemented Fusion ERP, and Piraeus Bank went live with Oracle Banking, just to name a few. All of these customers are upgrading to a better and modern applications platform that also comes with AI built right in. In Q4, we also continued our electronic health record deployment at the United States Department of Veterans Affairs. In Q4, we added 4 VA medical centers in Michigan, and in early June, added another 4 VA medical centers in Ohio. Oracle now supports 14 VA medical centers, serving 29,000 clinicians
We're
and
getting the chart up as
500,000
well,
vendors
guys. Seeing if
across
we
the
can get
United
a little
States.
bit of a pump going on here.
And
So
while
far,
not part of
not
our
much,
Q4
but we
bookings,
are going to wait and see if
the
it can
United
start
States
reclaiming
Government
some
Office
moving
of
averages.
Personnel Management
It's up
today
on our
announced
screen
an agency-wide award to Oracle
and keep
for
flipping back
Fusion
and forth
HCM.
to
So
the
this is
slides here as well.
obviously
Trying
a
to hold this
strong
high or low
start
so
for us
far.
in our FY27 applications business. But in addition to discussions around AI within our applications, I'm also having very interesting conversations with our customers around leveraging their
First level
own
to note,
proprietary data
190.
sets
Watch
with AI.
190 for the first potential
Much
sign
of
of
this data
bullishness.
already sits in an Oracle database or is generated by Oracle applications. For many enterprises, inferencing against decades of rich operations data is where the benefits of AI compound exponentially. Oracle's full stack offerings allow customers to get up and running quickly, leveraging AI together with their private data sets. This is why Claro, a major telecommunications provider in Latin America, chose OCI, field services applications, and our AI data platform to automate customer service for their 30 million subscribers this quarter. UK National Health Services share business services. Olis, the Brazilian retailer, and QXO, the fastest growing building products distributor in the United States, combine AI-ready Oracle infrastructure or database products with Oracle applications to move their businesses forward. Again, just to name a few. Last quarter, we also released a long list of major new AI functionality in the Oracle database. Here are just two
Most of these guys
examples.
like talking.
The Oracle AI
I have a few
Agent
things to
Memory
say,
is
but
a
I
library that helps developers build
don't want to
agents
miss
that
anything here. So
remember, reason,
let's hear them out.
and act with enterprise
And I'm
context.
going to be getting charts up here in
Oracle
a
Deep
second as
Data
well.
Security
As
has
for
data
now,
access
just keep
tools
watching
at
that
the database
190.
level.
To the downside,
This
we want to hold
protects against both
185.50.
unauthorized access. It limits precisely what data a user and any AI agent acting on their behalf can see or act upon. All of these innovations I've just described and many more are available in our cloud, our partners' clouds, and in our customers' environments. In Q4, our cloud database business revenue grew by 29%, with multi-cloud growing much faster. Multi-cloud revenue was up 404% year over year, and bookings were up 325% year over year. One example of an enterprise using a wide range of Oracle technologies is Vodafone, who turned to us in Q4 to consolidate and modernize their operations. Vodafone selected OCI dedicated region in their data centers, our multi-cloud database offering and a partner cloud, and our applications to reduce costs and run their processes faster, in some cases up to 60% faster. Finally, we are working with our customers to deliver quick ROI within their AI budgets. To do so, we are simplifying how customers consume and pay for agentic capabilities. Our new agentic pricing aligns with customer value. Now, much of our AI innovation in our core applications continues to be included at no extra charge. However, customers can also purchase additional agentic capacity in a simple, predictable way by purchasing bundles of tokens that can be used across their application suites. We're also introducing outcome-based commercial models that align pricing directly to the value derived. For example, interview agents that are priced based on the number of candidates screened, or hospitality upsell agents priced on the percentage of end consumer upsell transactions. In Q4, we started a limited rollout of our token bundles and had 33 customers, like Aon Services Corporation and Liberty Energy, pre-purchase tokens that have access to more advanced reasoning and models. All of this helps our customers control their costs and align their spending with the value being generated. And with that, I will turn it over to Clay. Thanks, Mike.
All right. I think that's a good place to pause it real quick. Aish, if you could,
Oracle has been in these businesses for decades.
If you could cut it out just for a quick second there. Perfect. Awesome. Thank you so much. So, guys, I don't want to bore you here. I know it's a little bit dry sometimes. So I just thought I'd give you kind of my first impressions of what I'm hearing so far, what I'm thinking for Oracle. We got this hourly chart up here. It's respecting the weekly for now. I don't think this is let me just, okay. So first off, Headline numbers, they were a clean beat. EPS of 211 versus the 196 expected, and the revenue of 19.18 billion did beat the 19 that we were looking for. That was the kind of bar that we needed to see cross. So that is up 21% year over year. What else do we have? What else do we have? I have some notes here. So we were talking about OCI. We really wanted to see what that was looking like with those numbers. So that's basically going to be, what is it? Yes, okay, 93% there. That grew to 5.8 billion, while software as a service grew just 10% there to 4.1 billion. So this is now purely basically an AI infrastructure story. So it's wearing that legacy software costume, but we all really know what the draw here is. It's that AI infrastructure. So that's never been clearer based on these numbers. That definitely jumped out at me. The guidance held. So fiscal year 27 revenue confirmed at 90 billion, like we talked about. Non-GAAP EPS also raised to 805 there. So despite all of this, the stock dropped about what, 5%? What are we sitting at right now? A little bit more. Eight percent, 7%, we'll call it 7%. So pretty hefty there. Let's talk about why. First off, the company does plan to raise more money to finance its AI build out. Oracle said it foresees raising 40 billion through debt and equity financing. Not what investors want to hear, including a 20 billion share sale. So we just heard about Google selling shares too. And you know what? It's just a matter of when the music stops. I'm not saying it's a bubble. I'm not saying the music's stopping, but it could signal the end of this rip-roaring front half of the year that we've had. And maybe we start having a little bit of a tougher year for investors. Maybe it's more of a choppy year. Maybe we have to be stock pickers instead of just buying anything with AI in the title. So differentiation definitely will be important going forward. So we talked about the share sale there. We talked about what else? Have we talked about this? Let's see. For the fiscal year, Oracle reported 23.7 billion in negative free cash flow. So that's the whole story right there. The income statement is winning, but the cash flow statement is losing. And the market is voting on the latter there. So CapEx came in at 55.7 billion for fiscal year 26, above the original 50 billion projection. CapEx creep was exactly the bearish trigger that people were flagging preprint, and I believe we mentioned this as one of the main kind of triggers. It's all running together now, guys. It's been a long day of streaming, but that is starting to echo the December sell-off just a little bit. So this is how I'm kind of framing Oracle here. It's become the market's AI credit risk proxy, and tonight kind of reinforced the bifurcation there. So bulls they get demand validation. It's like kind of absurd. It's like, what did they guide for cloud revenue? Like 57 to 63% next quarter, not next year, next quarter. So bears, on the other hand, they get a company with 125 billion in non-current debt. They've got interest expense up 32%. They're issuing equity at a 40% off highs price to fund a build out whose returns depend heavily on one customer, which is OpenAI. And they just conveniently filed confidential IPO paperwork and leaked it themselves because they knew it was going to leak. So there's a lot of kind of moving parts here, right? Which story is right? Well, that's for the market to decide. I will never imagine or pretend to be smarter than the market. My whole thing is a technical trader primarily. I know, why is the technical trader doing earnings calls? Well, this is when technicals can be made or broken, and we always revert to the new data coming in because that's what can break the chart. That's looking back at older data. So this is I really wanted to do these because it's basically going to be making me a more well-rounded trader. I'm learning much more about the market, and as I do, I can teach you guys just a little bit, but coming from the backbone and foundation of a technicals trader, because at the end of the day, it's the technicals that pay you. You know what I'm saying? It's those. That's what's going to put money in your bank. I don't care how good the fundamentals are. Show me the money, as Josh Smith, AK-47, would say. So that's kind of how I'm looking at it. The tale of two narratives, and that bifurcation has just increased. So in particular, the equity raise is the tell worth dwelling on here, I think. So management choosing dilution here says something about either the debt capacity limits or their own view of the stock. So we should definitely watch where it opens. And basically, it's technicals wise, it is kind of holding exactly where I need it to not feel like this is the start of a bigger sell-off. This could be just another pullback to this daily trigger. These are not clean when they recover. So the daily trigger is sitting at 185.93, and essentially you saw us pop once, catch on the short-term moving averages, pop again, catch on the short-term moving averages, as well as flip that. I've been saying daily, I meant weekly trigger here at 185. Apologies there. So the weekly support, that rising trigger at 185, it had been successfully negotiated once, and it got a big bid off of that. But there's going to be sellers when it goes this much, this fast. Just because it needs to come back down to where it was 2 weeks ago doesn't mean it's a broken stock. And honestly, it could end up being a pretty healthy thing to digest this crazy spike up, come back down, and check back in with support, and hopefully find a buyer. So now zooming back on intraday, oh, wow, okay, they must have said something on the call, or maybe it ended. We can check back in real quick, but we are wrapping up here. Essentially, a little big spike there, but still getting sold off. Until we can hold over 190, we got to be careful here. That was the very first sign, and this is not good. So we are losing the 185 that I was hoping for. We just lost the low of the day. For me, I can't be looking at this for a long intraday here. That's not good. So I'll try to really quickly see what they said before I have to head out. It's always the worst timing. The next level down, though, 175, that's my monthly trigger, and we'll find some confluences with that area as well. So you see that 175 level. You also have the kind of middle of this W base. Drawing that out just like this. Right about here. So that's the next level of interest, this 170 to 175 kind of area right here. You can also see on the weekly, it posted a nice pivot here before gapping up over our daily and starting this kind of stair-stepping up. So we got to see where it settles. So far, not the best look, though, to flush like that. And I would have to imagine we can make the measured move to the downside, and that was sitting at 1. I mean, we're so close already, so it could overshoot a little bit. 13%. Okay, yeah, I think that the 175 is seeming like a good spot. You might be getting a short scalp there. You could play it with momentum out the bottom here, considering we just lost the low. You could try to get in off the bottom here. You could do what I would do, which would be wait for a moving average back test, which we might be getting up here. Right here, just starting, I would want it a little bit deeper at about 186.25, 187. That kind of ribbon there might just break down before then, but that's what I'd be kind of looking for. Zooming on in and just seeing the sells kind of taking place off there after this pop and drop. So guys, we're going to be wrapping it up here. I want to get to some comments real quick for last few minutes before. And if you could give us a little bit of a subscribe, a little bit of a clicking that bell. I don't like to beg, but I'd appreciate it, guys. It'd mean a lot. So let me, oh my goodness, we got a little pop up here. Let me double check and make sure they didn't say anything too crazy on the call in the last couple minutes. But so far, looking like a back test into these moving averages and a potential short entry there. You would put your stop over this candle pop up here at 194. No ifs, ands, or buts. If it squeezes out there, well, then, hey, I'm wrong. Sorry. But I wouldn't want to be in the trade over that level. If it reclaimed then shorts, like myself, who is inclined to be short here, we'd be getting squeezed. Because as I said, non-negotiable, got to short it got to put a stop on it somewhere. When it pops and tries to drop, that's where you define your risk. So trying to see if there's anything else worth talking about. Whole lot of chatter about flow, especially a September flow. There's a lot of 300 strikes here, so it could just be stalling here, and it is in a support, or kind of a support zone here, down 10 to 13%, we'll call it. We'll keep watching this one into tomorrow, especially. Did they just give me the old yeehaw? Can it reclaim? If so, then we could entertain. I still don't like it long. It's a lower low here. It's not over equilibrium by any means. Maybe on the 1 minute here. I still think this is a short, but it's scary, and I probably just wouldn't touch it, to be honest. But that's kind of what I'm thinking on the technicals. Not seeing anything too wild said in the Twitterverse. So I think we can wrap it up here, guys. Let's just go back through the question. Scott Tomlinson, my beam of sunshine in the comments, going, where? Beep. Not just on this, but the market has run out of steam. Bad news coming in. They planned all of this. Oh, despair, Scott. I'm not going to say you're just wrong. I'm going to say I have a little bit more optimism here. I'm not sure it plays out, but I just don't think that this is it'd be too clean. It'd be too easy if the SpaceX IPO was the top of the market, right? Broadcom putting in amazing results. Not amazing. I keep saying amazing. They're really good numbers. They're just not really good enough, So it's hard to feel like we couldn't just get saved by, I don't know, when is Micron earnings? When's Micron earnings? If we're looking in our back pocket for something that could save the market, it's a little ways away, but on the 24th of June, we got Micron. What about SanDisk? They're a ways off. Okay, I don't know. That was the one that was jumping out to me looking a few weeks ahead. So all hope is not lost. What I will say, we're at a pretty pivotal level. There's a lot of fear out there. We were talking about a little bit about Google selling some shares. Now Oracle with the same thing selling some shares. Did I just save the market, guys? Did I save the market saying, hey, it's done, it's over? Let's see. So this will squeeze shorts if it can break over 193.71. This will be an awesome little shakeout. Maybe on the end of the call there is what happened there. And we can watch, we can see what happens. Still looking and seeing on Twitter if anything notable was said. I don't have time to jump back into the call, unfortunately. We are wrapping up in just a few minutes right here. But this doesn't look terrible. I don't know. We will find out. We will find out. Like I said, a tale of two narratives. The bulls have a lot of good there. Like I said, ridiculous. What was the number in particular? That cloud quarterly expectations, growth expectations. Yeah, sitting around 60%. But the bears, I mean, hey, they're selling shares and they're not doing it at all-time highs. That never signals a ton of confidence in your own stock. So we're going to have to see how this plays out. We'll get a little more color on just the risk appetite for these kind of, non-semiconductor tech names, in Adobe tomorrow. So that'll be interesting. That one's been a lot less loved than some of these other ones that we've seen, been high flyers and start to correct now. So we'll see which way this breaks, guys. I'm still not ready to throw in the towel. As a bull, I don't think that the party is really over until we lose our weekly moving averages. I'll hide my drawings here real quick just to show you guys. We're just testing the 9-week moving average. It's not a disaster. It's really not all that bad. Even if we get the pullback down to 7,100 SPX, which would be 705, 700, hey, 695 even SPY. I think we buy the dips. We look for dips to buy. We sink our teeth in and we start building our watch list. Talk is so great about talking about this on these red days. Start building those focus lists. Start building those buy lists. Start building your shopping list, guys, because you know what? When it's time to buy the dip, you won't want to. That's always what happens. When it's time to buy the dip, I won't want to. But I'm going to know my levels beforehand. The alerts are going to go off. I'm going to look at the chart. I'm going to puke a little bit. I'm going to hold my nose and I'm going to buy some. And you should too. Maybe. I don't know. Not financial advice. See? Can't hold me liable. You won't sue me. But that's just what I'm doing is what I should say. And I think it's pretty decent advice. So, volatility is opportunity. Be a bull. Be an optimist. A bet with, long SPY is a bet on humanity. We're going to figure this shit out, guys. So on that note, I'm going to take off. I need to go get some food and prep for tomorrow's great content because we got a lot more heading your way. We've got a lot of great competition right around the corner here as we start to ramp up. And the World Cup itself is starting tomorrow. So we got a lot of good things around the corner, guys. And don't forget those Adobe earnings tomorrow after the bell. Thanks so much. I appreciate each and every one of you. I see hundreds of viewers still sticking with me here, even after a little bit of technical difficulties. And hey, it's no fun when your stock goes down on earnings. So I appreciate everybody for tuning in. We're going to do it all again tomorrow. And thank you everybody out there in the Trade the Pool family. Guys, till next time, I'm Steve Tileman. I will see you there. What am I saying? I'll see you there. Where? Who knows? Trade safe. I'm Steve. See you next time.